Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Don.
She fell in love with the sex.
Hahn.
Sauce was everywhere.
And Rosenberg.
If you want to stay up, he's got the energy that matters.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. It is a Friday. Closing out the week, talking some NFL, some NBA, some MLB, some NHL. We've got Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30. We've got a ENN coming up at 6. What we don't have right now is Alan Hahn. No. Alan's up in Albany because Zach's got a game tonight, and he's in the lineup, and he wanted to see his son play. Unfortunately, Alan thought that you just bring the equipment to a hotel in Albany and all's going to be okay, and he was wrong.
I'm out!
So they're trying to work that out. He's actually going to go to the Best Buy in Albany and ask if they've got a cradle point or some sort of technology to get on the air. And I told him if he talks to somebody at Best Buy about a cradle point, the only thing he's going to do is he's going to point to the Bye Bye Baby across the parking lot where they sell cradles.
Confirmed.
So I don't think we're going to have Alan. We're hoping to. We'll have his picks at 5:45. We're still going to do that. Feels good, Peter, to have 3 points in my pocket, burning a hole in my pocket, baby.
I'm very angry.
I can't.
I'm very upset.
I can't.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm upset. And if you notice I'm being a little bit quiet, it's because I'm doing the show from WWE in Orlando. And as of a minute ago, they were shooting a promo right outside my door. So bear with me for a moment.
So you're saying that you screaming about the Jets loss might affect the promo in some way?
Yeah, and I don't think I won't scream at some point. I just want to be clear. But if you paid attention to the show yesterday, I actually liked the Jets. I mean, I think I may have even put the Jets in Don's head when I got to work that day. I said 13.5, it's a big number. I don't know. And then Ballard's texting me. Why do I ever listen to him? I don't know. Ballard
Michael's told you that for years.
Yeah, he'll mansplain football to me.
Right.
Yesterday, the Jets stink. The Patriots are great. And I'm thinking, Ballard, I watch the Jets and the Patriots. I don't like this number. It's a huge number. It's a divisional game. The Jets have been playing hard enough. It's weird. And I knew I didn't like it. And Don, even though it ended up being 13 on a 13.5 point line,
right,
I felt great about your chances the entire night. You had to feel good all night.
No, especially getting that quick touchdown early in the game. I felt pretty good as well, but no quarterback play does leave it open to getting blown out. But it's a great place to jump off here, and in all fun. One of the reasons I was leaning towards the Jets going in, and it was performative that I made it my 3-point play. That's what I do on Thursdays, is that this is the NFL, all right? That just when you think you got to figure it out, the exact opposite happens. There was no logical football reason to take the Jets last night. They're getting zero quarterback play. The Patriots are the best defense against the run, the only way the Jets can move the football. The Patriots are a much better football team and should have won that game by 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why I picked the Jets, because that's the NFL. You can't figure out what's going to happen. And ultimately, when you look at the Jets and you say, well, you know what? They hung in against a team that, hey, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it, but maybe the Patriots go to the Super Bowl this year. They've only lost twice. They're an outstanding football team, and the way that Buffalo's playing, maybe they even win the division. All right, but you look at you hung with them. You only lost by 13 points. A break here, break there. Maybe you lose by a lot less, but that's the NFL, and we shouldn't look into that as a way to pat the Jets on the back and say, hey, well, listen, you played for your coach and you didn't give up, and after the trade, you've won 2 in a row, you hung with the New England Patriots. No, it was still the same garbage that we've seen when this team couldn't win a game to start the year. Bad penalties, bad turnovers, another game in which they do not get an interception. Now 11 straight games without an interception. So I'm not going to buy into, they hung with the New England Patriots, let's pat Aaron Glenn on the back. No. You're embarrassing yourself with the quarterback play. The fact that Glenn today is still debating on who his quarterback should be, at this point, Peter, play anybody. Go sign somebody. Brock Heward must be available somewhere, right? He's probably at a Best Buy. He might be at the Best Buy at Albany. When Allen goes in there to find the cradle point, it might be Brock Heward that points to the bye-bye baby across the parking lot. You're getting zero quarterback play. Zero. And you're sitting there, and really, what is being debated? Is the next team you're going to play I wonder if it's going to be Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields. I'm really worried. How do I game plan for 2 zeros at quarterback? Well, last night was frustrating if you're a Jet fan. Even at this point where there's nothing left to be frustrated about, I still think they found a way to frustrate Jet fans.
Well, can I just say one thing that I'm going to shockingly defend Justin Fields for a second?
Sure.
He's been awful. I mean, we've been saying it night in, night out. It's been bad, no matter how you cut it. They had some bad drops for him yesterday.
No, they did.
They did not help. That line could have looked better for him if they could catch the football.
But how much better would it have looked?
50 yards better.
All right, 50 yards better, 75 yards better. The point is Justin Fields has not played at a level, Peter, where he gets the benefit of the doubt.
No.
And I don't even know where you're at as a Jet fan right now. This was actually, you brought the point that, hey, it was a pretty good 3 weeks for the Jets. They had a great come-from-behind victory against Cincinnati. Then they had the bye in which they did all the right things, making the trades, trying to put themselves in a better position for the future. And then you come out of the bye and you win. So that's a good 3 weeks. For a team that was 0-7 going into those 3 weeks, it's a pretty good 3 weeks. And then it just felt like everything but the final score just looked like a complete failure. And you look at the final score, wait, Don, come on, man. The score wasn't that bad. Watching it, Peter, it didn't look good at all. If you even bother to watch at this point, right? I mean,
I imagine everybody watched last night, right? Though it's they show it locally. You're not stuck on the prime situation. It's a Thursday night. You're playing.
I know, but
you want to see who the Patriots are. But yeah, you're right. Who's prioritizing this right now?
And then you got the Giants coming up, playing the Packers, and the Giants, no Thibodeau. We know that Jackson Dart is out. No Slayton, although I don't know if that's that big of a deal, but still, another weapon that Winston won't have in this game. But maybe you watch because, hey, maybe they do get a bump from firing the coach. I don't believe that happens in the NFL, but maybe you do, and I think there's going to be a general curiosity to see what Jameis Winston can do. But from a Jet standpoint, the one thing you're looking for is, do we have a coach? We know we don't have a quarterback. We know that we've kind of depleted our team here. And I'm not saying they didn't play hard for Glenn. I'm not saying that they gave up. I didn't see any of that, which I think is a good sign. But, the penalties crept back up again. I mean, too many men on the field coming out of a timeout. That's bad. Not touching a player when he's down. I mean, rookies make that mistake. Special teams, keeping drives alive. Those are I think they kind of reverted back. They had cleaned that up over the last couple of weeks, and surprise, surprise, they actually won a couple of games because of it. And they just kind of reverted back. So we'll still keep an eye on them for the rest of the season, but stop with the reindeer games. Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback moving forward, or anybody else at this point. What are we getting from Justin Fields? Honestly, what are we getting? We had a bump in the fourth quarter against Cincinnati, all right? And God knows where it came from against Pittsburgh at the beginning of the year. And as you and Alan reminded me yesterday, that was 2 months ago. So what are we doing?
Get to Stephen.
Yeah, I hear you. I that's the really hard part, is they are making it completely unwatchable. And I'm a little confused. And this is going to be where we sort of judge Glenn. Don, at this point, why would you not be looking at Tyrod Taylor? What did you see yesterday that made you think you're giving your team the best chance to win with Justin Fields? I am curious about his logic. And do we have the audio from him today?
Yeah, we do.
What did he say when he was asked about this? You got that over there, Jacob? when they asked Aaron Glenn about the quarterbacking situation?
And I'm evaluating myself. You know what? I'm evaluating everything, Rich, to be honest with you. And I'm evaluating myself, the players, schematics, coaches. I'm evaluating everything. So I don't want to just place everything on that one situation. You know, I'm just looking at everything because as a head coach, that's my job, right, to make sure that I put this team in the best position to go win games.
Now, I don't expect him to make an announcement immediately. But, after and the Cleveland game, listen, the Browns have a really good defense. And New England's got a good defense that stops the run. And you got no Garrett Wilson. Receivers are dropping passes. The only logic I can think, Peter, by at least debating who the quarterback would be, is he doesn't want it all to be blamed on Fields. Like you said, there were dropped passes. I don't want to give those guys a pass. I don't want to give the offensive line a pass. I don't want to give the defense a pass. Changing the quarterback kind of makes it seem, because it's so high profile, that, hey, that's all his fault. He wants to evaluate. Maybe that's a good thing. I want to evaluate everything. Maybe there's other guys on this team that shouldn't be playing either. But we always focus on the quarterback because at this point, after the trade, it's one of the few known commodities they have on the roster at this point. It's the only change that would give anybody any kind of movement. But for his standpoint, maybe he just look at it and says, we're focused on the quarterback. Did you watch the rest of the game? There's a lot of the guys that probably don't deserve to be out there playing the minutes that they're playing. So we'll see as we get closer and closer to midweek what the decision will be as far as who the starting quarterback is. Not that I think it makes much of a difference at this point, but I think it's really hard to trot him out there after what's happened the last couple of weeks and expect anybody to feel like you're even trying to win, which might be on the table too, Peter, right? You know, obviously it's not a priority for them, so I'm not saying they're tanking, but are they thinking, is it the worst thing in the world that we lost this game?
See, now we're having a conversation, Don.
I thought we were before, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's got to be on the table, right? At some point here, it's if you're going to keep trotting out a guy who simply cannot play NFL football, maybe you're doing that with purpose.
Yeah, because he's not going anywhere. As much as the Jet fans want to see change and want him to be one and done, he's not going anywhere. So if you know you're not going anywhere, you know you got a ton of picks, right? You're evaluating players. All the players are going to go out there and try, but it's been made known at this point that even the best college effort that they can give, the old college try, is not going to be enough to beat the Ravens in Baltimore next week. So really, I'm wondering if it's in the back of their minds that, hey, listen, I want to win the game, but if we don't, it's cool. I'm not going anywhere. Muji's not going anywhere.
Hey, by the way, Don, I would feel better. I hope it's that. Tell me it's that you don't want to win. Don't tell me it's that you're the future head coach here and you think Justin Fields is the path to winning. It can't be that.
I would say, and listen, this is a serious allegation.
Go ahead.
That unless there's something physically wrong with Tyrod Taylor's knee, which was in play earlier in the season, that if Justin Fields is the starting quarterback in Baltimore, you cannot tell me with a straight face you're trying to win a game.
Right.
When he says, I'm going to start the quarterback that gives us the best chance to win, that answer cannot be Justin Fields. It can't be. So why would it not be on the table? If I'm in a court of law and I'm trying to prove they're tanking, wouldn't that be my gasp moment where the court starts to murmur? Like I just you know, did you order the code red? You're damn right I did. Right? Are you trying to tank? I'm not trying to. Are you trying to tank? Who's your starting quarterback on Sunday? It's Justin Fields. Damn right you're tanking.
Can you imagine? I just want to say, I personally, nothing would make me happier than if Justin Fields plays the next game and the following Monday, Rich Cimini goes, Aaron, I need you to admit that you're tanking. Can you imagine, of all people, if Aaron Glenn were to get pushed on this, he might have to prove the point. Don, he might have to lift the podium over his head and throw it. I mean, he would absolutely derail if the questions said, hey, so if you're trying to win, why would you continue to put a quarterback out there who experts all over television are saying doesn't play NFL quarterback anymore?
Well, that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up because you pop on SNY after the game, and Willie Colon is telling you he's not an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
The post-game, your own televised post-game show, the Giants have theirs on MSG. The Jets have theirs on SNY. This is not coming from Dan Orlovsky on ESPN. This isn't Colin Cowherd on Fox, right? This is Willie Colon on your post-game show saying he's not an NFL quarterback.
By the way, maybe we should call Willie. Because it is an interesting conversation. It's such a curious thing, Don. I mean, that stat that was in our group chat earlier that Anthony sent us,
right?
The last time a team's which was it wasn't QBR, right? It was passer rating was this low as a team was the 2022 Bears with who at the quarterback? Justin Fields.
That's scary. The exact thing is, punch up because we get so many messages during the course of
most of them about Allen trying to do the show with an abacus.
You suck, Busick.
Yeah. The Jets are averaging a league low 139.9 passing yards per game.
Okay.
That would be the lowest in the NFL since 2022, which was 130.5. Common denominator, Justin Fields at quarterback. Now, there are a lot of extenuating circumstances. I don't think we don't know football, Peter. We both share the opinion that there might be something to Justin Fields. Now, Pittsburgh wanted him back. So let's not make him out to be complete damaged goods when the Jets got him. There was something there that it was extinguished by the Jets. Because whether it's the lack of weapons, whether it's the inexperience at the OC, or whether it's just the fact that this is where quarterbacks go to die, I have to hold the Jets somewhat culpable for what's going on here with Justin Fields. There was something there, Peter. I'm not saying he was a Super Bowl quarterback. I'm not even saying he was a playoff quarterback. But you know what? I don't think there was any doubt he was an NFL quarterback before he got here.
Listen, I thought the guy had a ceiling still. I thought
so too.
Don, when I first saw the kid play, it looked like he was on a very average to poor football team, but he had a pretty big arm. He was stout. He could take off and run, but had some meat on his bones. He seemed to be somewhat poised to me. I thought it was there. It just needed to come together. He goes to Pittsburgh. He wins some games, obviously, and here's the biggest telltale sign. When Mike Tomlin decides that with a winning record, he doesn't see it, he's putting in the decrepit Russell Wilson instead. And the Jets go, ooh, we'll take that guy. We should have gone with the Steelers. They generally have the better read.
Well, but they wanted him back from what we hear. Listen, it didn't age well for Justin because of the way Wilson's played here in New York and certainly the way he's played in New York. But it was a bad situation with Eberflus in Chicago. Goes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh thinks they're going to go to the playoffs. Pittsburgh's trying to make the playoffs, and they realized, you know what? I don't think he can get us to the playoffs, which is fine. But I don't think anybody thought it was going to be at this level bad. I mean, there's legitimate questions around Justin Fields on whether anybody would even have him back up at this point. That's how bad it's been. Because when you say you're not an NFL quarterback, you're not just suggesting you're not a starter in the NFL. You're saying you don't belong in the NFL. And when you look at some of the backup quarterbacks in the NFL, that is a bold statement.
By the way, is there a more broad definition or a more broad set of talents than the backup quarterback? Like, you can go to the tippy top of backup quarterbacks, and those are guys you'd consider as a starter. Like, no, this guy's pretty good, could win you a game. Maybe win you a couple games. To the bottom end, Don, where you go, if this guy's in the game, it's just so we can field a team. We just need 11 on the field.
Yeah, he's a place sitter. He's a seat filler for when you want to make the stadium look full.
We can't snap to the running back every play, so we got to have someone.
We're not really prepared to play that game. So we got to have a quarterback.
But at the top, you go, these guys. It's bizarre. Think about the quarterback position. how hard it is. This is the most desirable position in sports. You're paid an astronomical amount of money, and you cannot find 30 in the world at one time that are great at it.
Now it's 32. You're great.
But you can't get to 30. You can get to what? 12, 15,
maybe 15
that are really good.
Oh my God! We're going to take your calls at 1-800-919-3776. Let's give you the lay of the land here.
Go ahead, lay it out.
Because at 4:30 we got Fraud Alert Friday, which is fast becoming a lot of fun for people every Friday at 4:30. 5:45 we'll have our picks. I've already got 2 of them done. 3 points in my pocket on the Jets covering the 13.5, and I'm already going to go with the Commanders in Madrid. So and that's my 2-point play. So I only just have my 1-point play that I got to do. We're going to get Allen's picks. Peter going to try to get off the mat. He's already lost his 2-point play with the Patriots not covering. So we'll have that at 5:45. We got ENN at 6, and then we've got the Knicks at 6:30. Knicks and the Heat. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the Giants. We got to talk about the MVP. Congratulations to Aaron Judge. He wins the MVP. A lot of people, especially in the Pacific Northwest, not happy about it, but I know people in New York are happy. We'll dive into that. Your calls at 1-800-919-3776. And I have a question for Jets and Giant fans coming up as well. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on a Friday here on ESPN New York.
Trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Listen up, football. Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
There are small risks in life, like giving a kid a football to play with in the house.
Whoa, watch out for the... Okay.
And then there are big gambles, like giving a kid a lottery ticket. Never gift a lottery ticket to a person under 18. Learn more about how to gift responsibly during the holidays at playresponsiblyny.com. Please gift responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, it's Michael K. talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you could trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there.
there, guys. Good afternoon and happy Friday, but not a happy ride over in Westchester County. If you're heading toward the Rockland-bound Tappan Zee Bridge, 287 westbound, jam, some roving repairs over by the Thruway merge. Not going to wrap up till about 5:30. You're solid there from 684 in Harrison. Inbound George, stick with the lower deck about 15 to 20 minutes. Upper levels still have some construction. That's about a 20 to 30-minute ride. Best of it's to the outbound side, Henry Hudson, and that's a bit slow. Outbound Lincoln already about 5 to 10. Outbound Hahn already 30 to 40. Over in Jersey, Garden State Parkway southbound, crawling toward exit 136 in Cranford. Big crash blocking 3 lanes. You're solid from 78 in Hillside. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Clinton Yates here. The holidays are upon us, and so are the savings at Total Wine & More. Discover thousands of wines, spirits, and beers like my favorite, IPAs, perfect for every celebration and every budget. From bold reds to sparklers, you'll find the perfect wines to raise a glass this season. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine & More. Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. See TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies. And
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys,
get it out. Get it out.
It's Tully time.
I like when he holds it.
It's Tully time.
I don't want to exaggerate, because I think that would dilute the point that I'm trying to make, is that it clearly has been extended by, I would say, at least 3 to 4 seconds. Now, if I was to say 10 seconds, well, now you're exaggerating, Don. There's probably no truth to it.
Right. Don't be that guy.
There's no way that is as long as the original one that I did.
I actually believe that it is. I don't think anything's been done.
So if that's the case, then maybe we need to move on. Because if it feels that long, then I don't think that's a positive thing.
It's Tully time.
See, the other two are perfectly fine, especially the Fred Flintstone.
Well, that's the thing. No, I think, but Don, here's the truth. I truly, in my heart of hearts, 100% believe that that's just what it is. And so if you feel that way, that means you just want to move on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
We'll have that conversation at some point. But
privately?
Or publicly. We're having it now. Maybe we'll run it up the poll at some point. NBA Cup Group Play games tonight. The Knicks host the Heat with coverage immediately following us right here on 880 at 6:30. The Nets visit the Magic at 7, and the Islanders are in Utah facing the Mammoth at 9. Islanders had a big overtime win in Vegas last night against the Golden Knights. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. I was going to bring this up on Talk About It Tuesday, but for the 4th consecutive week, we ran out of time. So I kind of feel I feel like Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel. They're just never.
But it's your own segment. That's the weird part. It's your own segment, and you're still like
no. Talk About It Tuesday is yours.
Well, I mean, but it's all of us.
But these things were. It was the list was mine. Talk About It Tuesday was yours, and Alan originally had the Thursday rewrite, which then pivoted to, I think, a much better one in that guy.
Let's be honest. We killed the rewrite dead.
Yeah, well, I think it killed itself. It just
But by the way, the rewrite killed itself, but it didn't like jump off the Empire State Building. It you know how it died, Don? It died the way that they were like killing people in The Sixth Sense, like poisoning over months and months. You know what I mean? a slow.
Right, yeah.
Remember when you found out the mom was actually poisoning the daughter in Sixth Sense? That was the death of Rewrite.
Do you know what? I have not seen The Sixth Sense since I had children. I'm thinking that whole scene hits different now with kids. Now, it was deplorable. You know, you didn't have to have kids to know just how bad.
Yeah, it's bad to poison your children.
You know, poisoning your kid, that's never, but
not what you want.
But, oh, my God, it just, oof. Anyway.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Don, because I'm a deranged individual, we are in the process of looking for a nanny as we speak, and we just started a show on Peacock called All Her Fault.
Okay.
It is literally, Don, a show about a nanny abducting a child. And we started the show Saturday or Sunday, and then Wednesday we started looking for a nanny in earnest. I'm like, what are we doing? Why? And then I said, you know what, though? Maybe this is good. Maybe it's good we're watching this show about the scariest thing ever happening, because it'll make us be that much more crazy and diligent about the choice we make. By the way, hell of a program. I would reference who it's starring. It's the woman who played Shiv on Succession, but Don hasn't watched a new show since Breaking Bad. He doesn't know Succession from a hole in the wall. But it's a hell of a program there on Peacock.
I watched
but a bit disturbing.
But not at the clip that you guys do. But I was going to bring this up on Talk About It Tuesday.
Go ahead.
I'm going to bring it up now, and I want to get calls on it, 1-800-919-3776. So Rich and Gilbert, we'll get to your Jet calls. It's still the main topic of conversation here, is that when I was growing up, the Giants were god-awful, all right, and, like, really bad. But I still fell in love with football because my dad watched every Sunday, and it was still my thing. The Mets were bad, too, but my dad was a Met fan, and I stayed a Met fan. I didn't have anything else to do, Peter. What else was I going to do? There was one TV in the house. It was in the living room. It wasn't until I got a little bit older that we had the old black and white TV that took 30 minutes to warm up. We'd wheel into my bedroom to watch, and that didn't have cable. There was no video games when I was growing up. You went outside and you played. And by the time, winters happened a little earlier now, earlier then than they do now. So you weren't, in November, you weren't playing outside when it was 25 degrees. You watch football. And I just wonder, for a certain generation of fans, not only are you out on the Jets and Giants because they've been so bad so long, especially the Jets, no playoffs, 15 consecutive years, one winning season. And that was a decade ago, 10 years ago, 2015, where they were 10-5 and needed to beat the Bills in Buffalo to advance to the playoffs and lost that game. But you still finished 10-6 and still had a meaningful game the final week of the season. But that was a decade ago. For you and me, old people, 10 years is nothing. But if you're 20 years old, you were 10. The last time they had a winning season, you were 5 the last time they made the playoffs. You do the math for 25, 30, and all that. I'm just wondering, not only has it done damage to the locals, does it do damage to your love of the sport? Because when the Giants would lose when I was a kid, or even when I got older in college and, was really living and dying with the Giants, like if the Giants had a bad loss, I didn't watch NFL Prime. I didn't read the paper the next. I didn't want anything to do with football. I was like disgusted the Giants lost. Like if that was my philosophy then I wouldn't watch anything, because it's always been nothing but bad. And I'm just wondering that if, as Don LaGreca, a 10-year-old Don LaGreca, was alive now, with the team being as bad as they've been, or the Jets being as bad as they've been, if you're a Jet fan, and you have all these other things to do in your life to entertain yourself, would Don LaGreca have been in love with the game of football the way I am now?
I know.
Or would I have said, you know what? The game's not that great, and I don't want. I'm not even going to defend it. I am the old guy in the room. I am get off my lawn. The game is not as good as the game that I grew up with. I'm sorry, it's just not. And a lot of it has nothing to do with anything other than they finally woke up and they wanted to protect the players. So the big vicious hits that were entertaining have been taken out of the game, and they don't have the two-a-days and killing guys in training camp. All of it was done for the exact right reason, Peter. But the one thing we can't ignore is it has definitely disturbed the quality of the game. It's not as good as it used to be. It's just not. So I'm just wondering, is there a generation of fans that are falling out of football? You can't tell me you're loving it even more when your team embarrasses you every single weekend. So I had that conversation. I was thinking just to myself, if I grew up in this era, would I have fallen in love with football? And I'm not sure I would.
It's one of the best points you've ever made in the history of the program.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
because
bold.
it's true. Because it's true. There are so many things going on. I mean, number one, you're talking about an era when your team is better. Number two, you're talking about a time when there are less things to do. Number three, you're talking about a time when the game itself was better and more compelling and violent and all the things. And to your point, Don, I'm glad you said that. It's not that you're saying it shouldn't have changed. It should have changed, but it still made it less compelling. There's no way around it. So
they made an R-rated movie PG-13. They did it for the right reason, but the R-rated version was more entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, thank God, players, were getting the CTE and stuff. Again, it was done for all the right reasons, but from an you can't tell me the game is as entertaining as it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago. You can't.
You've really tapped into something special here, Don. This is what makes you great. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be there. What else was I doing? Although, you know what? I was talking to my cousin today, and his son is really into sports. His son's 8 or something. Really, really hardcore. Plays sports, watches them, everything. And he was saying that he has the NBA ticket, and his son watches every night. Just loves any random NBA game he's in. And I was that way as a kid. And I have the ticket every year for the Celtics, and I never sit around watching random games during the regular season. I'm like, why do I have this? I don't want to watch random games. So I wonder how much of it, Don, is a built-in part of being a kid and the excitement of sports when you first get introduced to it.
But you still have to be introduced to it and not have it. Again, I didn't have any competition. I mean, when I was growing up, the 1979 Stanley Cup Final was on pay-per-view. The only reason we got it in New York was because the Rangers were in it.
Yeah, that's what. No, I didn't even know that.
Even the 80s, the Stanley Cup Final was on Sports Channel. There was a time where the NBA playoffs were on tape delay. Games weren't on TV, and they were probably played at a different time. It was a different world. It was a different way. Baseball games, when I was growing up, not every one of them was on television. All right, so you loved and adored any time you got a chance of it. Now there's an oversaturation. There's always something going on. There's always something to distract me. Not to mention the fact that you can have the NFL Sunday ticket and say, screw it, I'm not watching the Jets and Giants. I'll watch somebody else. With no question, they've eroded the fan base. No question, there are young kids that could be Giant Jet fans that have decided to go root for another team. And one of them may be my own son.
Yeah.
Who wants to be like his dad and wants desperately to be a Giant fan. And doesn't want to disappoint me, but at the same time, he doesn't want to disappoint himself every Sunday by watching bad football. When his best friend's an Eagle fan, and he could put the Chiefs on and watch them go to Super Bowls, their big bright red colors, and Taylor Swift involved. It's just something to talk about, man. This is how bad it is. This is how bad it's been, and how bad it might be moving forward. If the Giants don't get the right head coach in here, if the Jets don't find all these picks and find their quarterback, it's not going to change anytime soon. The Giants don't have a coach. The Jets, you're still wondering if they have one. And right now, if you had to make a decision, you probably would say they don't. It's bad, man. It's bad. 1-800-919-3776. Your thoughts on this.
All right.
Your thoughts on the Jets. Got to get into the MVP, too, as Aaron Judge wins the MVP. I'm sure Yankee fans are thrilled with it, but there's something I want to dissect a little bit deeper, if we could, on that decision that was made last night with Aaron Judge winning the MVP and Shohei Ohtani, no surprise, won it in the National League. Juan Soto finished third. Interesting. Got to get into that as well. Knicks Heat. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg taking you up until 6:30. Then it's Knicks basketball right here on ESPN New York. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you till 6:30. Then it's Knicks basketball. Allen had some issues in Albany, but he's going to see his son play hockey. We'll probably have him maybe a little bit later on, definitely to make his picks at 5:45, as he's got a full slate of
because you don't want to miss our picks.
I only got one. Peter's got two. But we got that coming up at 5:45. Need to line up the emails and the calls for Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30. We should have something interesting at 4:30 as well. A little extra to Fraud Alert Friday today at 4:30. 1-800-919-3776. Let's dive into the busy phone calls. Let's go to Billy. He's in the truck to get us started here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. How are you, man?
Hey, guys. I appreciate you taking the call.
No problem.
Don, you make a great point. It's like I'm tired of just rooting for my fantasy team all the time, and like the beginning of the year, I'm sick of it. I do love football and all that, but I'll be 23 on Tuesday, and I have little bits and pieces of 2011 and all that, and me and my dad, we go back and forth on this all the time. The worst thing that has happened to the Giants was the postseason in 2022, and that was because with the whole boat thing and all that stuff. Yeah, it was I was all mad about that then, but this that was like the first time like in adult or teenage life I was like, wow, like I got a team now. It looks like I have a team, and where's it gone?
No, it's gone nowhere. And, I've always pushed back, Billy, and thank you for the phone call on the whole worst thing that happened to the Giants was 2022. And Peter said, the way they lost to Philadelphia, like, why even bother making it anyway? I mean, it's really hard to fight you guys now, seeing how things have gone the last 3 years. Now, do I think if they had finished 7-9-1, would things be any better right now? I do believe that Shane and Dable probably would have been gone at the end of last year, because that would have been 3 consecutive losing seasons. What are you holding on to? But would they be any better? Would they have gotten the next coach right? I don't know if they'd be in any better shape. But the one thing I can't really push back on anymore, Peter, is what did it all mean? Like if I had a chance, like I'm going to take the train to D.C. tonight after the show to do the Devil game in Washington. If I had access to rewatch Giants-Vikings on my laptop on the way, would I bother? Would I bother watching that playoff again, knowing everything that happened since then? Probably not. So I don't like throwing playoff appearances away, since it's literally the only one that they've had since 2016. But even the 2016 one, you got killed in Lambeau, and what did it all mean? What did it all matter? McAdoo got fired the next year. So it does, at the end of the day, become meaningless. Comes out in the wash like a stain. It's so what? What did it lead to? What did it build towards? So I could admit that I'm wrong. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad because
I enjoyed it in the moment, but that moment's gone. That feels like a song. That felt like a song lyric, Peter. We need to find out what song. But doesn't it feel like a song? Had the moment, the moment's gone.
Ah, it's beautiful. Had the moment, but the moment's gone.
Help us out. 1-800-919-3776.
No, I don't think it's a real thing. I don't think it's a real thing.
Oh, by the way, Kofi, who, again, I got to pay him out of my own pocket.
You should.
He's a big...
Stop saying it and do it.
Because he's dust in the wind. That's right. Good. See, good. Jacob, was that you or did somebody feed that to you? Good job. Only for a moment and the moment's gone. Good. God, you know what, Jacob? You know what? Give yourself a raise.
How does that work?
It wasn't coming from me.
You mean pay it yourself?
Yeah. You know what? Just next time you cast a check, just know you did a good job. You earned this one for sure. That was good. No. So Kofi texted me.
Okay.
That he was listening, or somebody was listening to the Jimmy Traina podcast, and I guess somebody asked him, "What's your problem with the K show? Like, why don't you follow Don?
Oh, really?
And why do you not like Michael K?" Now, we know he likes you because he actually was trying to have you on the show.
Well,
he may not like you anymore because you had to cancel, but we don't know that for a fact.
No.
And that Jimmy said he's got no problem with me. And matter of fact, that I did treat him nice at Sports Phone, but he doesn't follow hockey people on social media, which I I feel insulted by it because I think I'm more than just a hockey guy. I have an afternoon drive show, but...
So wait, that was the whole answer?
No, and that he doesn't not like Michael Kay. He just doesn't enjoy his play-by-play.
And did I get mentioned at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's unfortunate.
Well, because I don't think there was any question about how he felt about you since he invited you on the show.
Well, invited is loose. It didn't happen. I mean,
but he did. You were booked on the show.
Yeah, but if the person then never, if you're booked on the show, but then you weren't able to do it because you were legitimately seriously ill, and then you never go back. I mean, it may be worse than even not being booked in the first place.
But that's fine. But then we'd know the reason. Like there would be no mystery why he doesn't like Peter. Well, because Peter canceled on him.
And that's it. Well, once you cancel, you're dead.
Well, why? But I'm not saying it's a legitimate reason, but it's a reason. I'm saying I didn't know why he didn't follow me on Twitter.
But hold on. But we really didn't gain very much here because, can I just be honest with you? It's a fugazi response.
No,
I don't follow hockey people is not a thing.
No, well,
that's not a thing.
It is if you don't like hockey. I think he was being nice because if I remember his time at Sports Phone, he did not like hockey. So he's
but Don, you're not just a hockey guy, and you follow him.
But I get that, but he may not know I follow him. And the other thing is that he may not know because if he doesn't listen to the K show, he may not know that I'm anything more than or less than a hockey guy. I'm insulted by it, but I'm not going to get mad at him because I don't know how much he really follows me.
I think it's also – I think what we have to live with is there are certain older school New York media people who never really gave us a shot. They were either Francesa people they didn't like Michael for whatever reason.
Right.
And they were out. Like they know there's an ESPN channel. They don't turn it on. They're not doing it. And I think my guess is he's in that category because – he would probably be down with both of us if he ever actually gave the show a chance, and my guess is he didn't. There's a whole community of people who literally, I always make this joke, but it's true, and Jimmy's a part of it. If Chris Russo has flatulence, there's an article about it. If Mike Francesa has any sort of slip saying anything on a Sunday afternoon podcast, it gets written about. Meanwhile, Don could do a show with his hair on fire. And they'd never know. So I do think that's a built-in thing. The thing that could solve this all, though, is some help. Maybe by BetterHelp. I have an ad for BetterHelp, guys. This November, BetterHelp, what they're doing is they're encouraging everyone to reach out. Check in on friends. For example, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, you're seeing me in this dark, scary room, and you should be concerned. Now, I would tell you I'm fine when you check in.
But your instinct should be something's wrong.
But your instinct should be, why is he in a place like this? Has he been taken? Is this a Liam Neeson situation for Peter Rosenberg? But here's what you do. You head over to BetterHelp, and you take advantage of the experience they have, the industry-leading match fulfillment rate. They get it right. They'll match you with the right therapist. And if you're not happy, you can switch at any time. All right? They have 30,000 therapists. And they're the world's largest online therapy platform. 4.9 out of 5 stars. That's out of 1.7 million client reviews. So this month, don't wait to reach out, whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist for yourself. BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Now, Kofi did reach out again because he listens, and we appreciate that. He said that Jimmy did mention Peter on the pod. He said that he understood why Peter had to cancel his interview due to losing his voice. He would rebook Peter again in the future.
Oh. Well, then when that happened, Don, should that happen, I'm going to really get to the bottom of it.
Right, because it is odd. I don't follow hockey people. Well, I'm not just a hockey guy, and you were somebody that you worked with at Sports Phone. You couldn't break the rule just once. You're not following Chris Chelios, okay? It's Don LaGreca. I mean, listen. I am a hockey guy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm not demanding you follow Ed Belfour, okay? It's
right,
Don. It's Don Puck.
Ed Hospodar.
Yeah, this is Don LaGreca. No
Right,
one's
but-
saying I'm not making you
No,
read Brian
but-
Trottier's autobiography.
But there
Follow
was,
Don.
But there was value to it because I thought maybe I insulted him or something happened at Sports Phone, which was like 35 years ago, and then maybe
If it was a day.
But no, it had nothing. He said I treated him nice, so he can follow me, not follow me. It really doesn't matter.
Mike
He
Madonna
doesn't
follows me on Twitter.
It sounds fugazi to me because I think I do other things, but you
I
know,
think so,
whatever.
too.
But
Don LaGreca, sidekick to Michael K.
But I
I'd
do
love
I
to
do
sit down
agree
and talk
with
to
you.
Owen Nolan.
Now, he says he has no problem. Mike just doesn't like his play-by-play. But I think I'm with you. I think he was a Mike and Chris guy, didn't listen to our show. And on the surface, it looks like I'm only a hockey guy. So, whatever. But I didn't want that there might have been an incident at Sports Phone. Now that I found out that I treated him nicely, all's good. So, go about your business. 1-800-919-3776. Going to get to more phone calls on maybe your lack of feel for football the way the Giants and Jets have played. Got to get into the MVP of it all as well. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take you up until 6:30. Then it's Knicks basketball here on ESPN New York.
How doers get more done.
Your fantasy roster is set. The smack talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
See, that's a nice job. Who's my... I love this song. Love it. I think the lead singer was like very tiny, if I remember, based on the video. I speak before my eyes in curiosity. Dust. You're familiar with the song, no?
Oh, of course.
All we are is dust,
Dust in the wind. Not exactly an upbeat jam.
No, never claimed it was, but that's okay.
I mean, the main thing I think about with that song now, of course, is Old School.
Yes, good call.
That's to me taking over the song.
Honestly, I think a lot of people that know the song know it because of that.
At this point,
that movie came out over 20 years ago.
If it was a day, can you believe that? Can you believe that movie, Old School, is over 20 years old? It's now Old School. That movie is now Old School.
What did it come out? 03, 04?
February 03. Which means, hold on, we're coming up on 23 years.
Yep.
Now hey Don.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wrap the show up. I gotta wrap it up.
You
I can't do it.
You can't do it anymore?
I can't do it. We're in a world where we're about to 23 years since Old School came out.
Now, I believe, and Jacob, check, I think Dust in the Wind came out like 78. So it was still older when it came out in Old School than since Old School, but it's getting close. 77. So yeah, so it was 26 years old when they did the movie. The movie's going to be 23. It's pretty. That's incredible. At least I have the excuse of these movies came out when I was still at ESPN. Were you even in New York?
No, Don. I was living in a basement on Donnybrook Road, and I lived in it was repulsive. The place, the house I lived in wasn't repulsive. The way I kept my room in the basement.
Okay.
Records everywhere. You know, just it was a mess. And I have to tell you, the women who spent time in that room, I feel bad for them. I don't like that they were at a time in their life where they thought it was a good idea to hang out with someone who was living in squalor. I remember, you know, and this was like a real single period I had, which I didn't have that many in my life. This was like a couple of year. You know when this was, Don? I lived in this place around the Calling It Quits mixtape when I was digging my own grave.
Okay.
That's the era we're talking about here. It wasn't a great time. And Old School was a movie. It was in regular rotation, though. Like, girls would come over. You want to watch Old School? Throw on Old School. And it was Netflix and chill, but there was no Netflix. It was just a DVD player sitting on top of a 13-inch color TV. Ugh. The doldrums.
My God.
But guess what? Some good times.
1-800-919-3776. Let's talk to Ken in the car. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Ken?
Ken?
Hi, guys. You know, you were talking about people, the fans loving the team. What about the team loving the fans? They have two teams in New York. They get two sets of PSLs. They have two crummy teams based on bad decisions. And what do they do for us? They build a stadium that is not nice. It stinks. Why would you go there in cold weather? And that's why we sell our tickets. You got bad teams, bad weather, and they don't give the fans any loving. So we got to look at that. I'm older than both of you guys. I'm 72. Had Jet tickets since the 80s. And that's part of it. I mean, they don't give the loving to the fans. Am I right?
You're right, but you weren't complaining about it in 09 and 2010 when they're going to championship games, right? Like nobody loved the building. All right, but I'm just saying is that you live with the PSLs, you live with the building not being as good as it is in Minnesota and Dallas and Atlanta because they were winning. When the Giants won the Super Bowl in 2011, I didn't hear any complaints about the Venetian blinds and how difficult it is to get out of the building and all the PSLs. But now it's coming to roost, right? Because now you're not winning, and now the building feels ugly. But I don't want to go there, Peter, as the reason because it's not the reason. Losing's the reason. We'll sit in our own, filth if the team wins. Right?
Oh yeah, you dream of it.
You know, sitting in the rain and the snow at MetLife Stadium when the team's up 30-0 adds to the ambiance of the moment. But when you haven't gone to the playoffs in 15 straight years, when the Giants have completely embarrassed themselves over the last 3 years and have won one playoff game in the last, what is it, going on 14 years, and then you start complaining about the PSLs and they don't care about the fan. Well, let me ask you, and I don't mean to be insulting or disparaging to any of the other teams, but really, what teams really care about the fan base? First and foremost. Well, I'm sure there are, but you don't know because you don't keep score that way. You just want to see the team win. In sports, the only thing to keep score is the score. Right? Like nobody's giving tickets for free. I mean, Atlanta makes the food cheap, and some places parking's a little bit cheaper. But I go on the road, Peter, and I'm walking around arenas, and I look at the parking. It's $35-$40 everywhere. Like they're all gouging the fans. They're all taking advantage of the fact that you're addicted to the product. Sports franchises are the king of all drug dealers.
Oh yeah,
and their drug is your love of the sport, and they're taking advantage of it. And I'm lumping everybody together. They all do it,
and they know that you're like Pookie in New Jack City. It's calling you. You gotta have it. And if they go, if you finally go to rehab, and you go, I think I'm ready to move on. I'm done. They go, hey, come here, buddy. I got some new stuff.
Right.
No, Don. You know what the new stuff's called? It's called 2022. I'm going to give you a little sniff. Let me give you a little sniff of 20. Oh, it's a playoff win. Oh, I'm back. And then guess what it was? The next year.
Be calling me, man.
Now you're back to sniffing glue on the street because it was a complete mirage.
No, and what else do they sell you? Is hope. No, it's going to get better. We've got draft picks. We're going to get a new coach. We're going to get a new general manager. We're going to make a trade for another player. They're feeding off that hope, and they all do it. I'm not singling anybody out. They all do it. And the only ones we complain about are the teams that lose, because when the teams win, we're all in it. We're all for it. We're all for being taken advantage of because the team's winning and we get something out of it. And now all of a sudden the team's not winning, and it's all they don't care about the fans, Peter. They never cared because they know you're there. Yeah, there are a few teams that might discount tickets when it gets really bad, when they're putting tarp over the seats in the upper deck, but that's few and far between. The Jets have the audacity to raise their ticket prices this year, knowing they weren't making the playoffs, knowing damn well they were going to sell off pieces of the team at the trade deadline. So, honestly, what are we doing? So, ultimately, it's on you. So, to that caller, if you're that fed up, then walk away. But you won't. And I'm not going to get mad at you for not. Well, I don't walk away. But but the reason I brought this up in the last hour, Peter, I'm wondering, are people going to start to walk away? And have people already walked away?
It's very hard to gauge with the Giants. With
very
the Jets,
hard.
The Jets, I'm starting to feel it. You're starting to feel it with the Jets. And by the way, the Giants, I'll tell you, it would it be now? It takes a little longer. I mean, you could still, Don, be 20, you could be 25 years old. And, when you won those titles as a kid, it wasn't that long ago. You remember it.
Right.
You remember it.
Yes.
I was there. I hadn't given up at that point. It may take a little longer, but also, what does it look like?
But the Giants have the one thing the Jets don't is there's a history that they do, on occasion, get it right. And so a Giant fan can say, well, maybe this time Mara will get it right because we do have 2007 and we do have 2011. And if you're old enough to remember, when it was all so bad, the 80s came and they won in 86 and they won in 90 and then it got bad again, but then they went to the Super Bowl in 2000. Like every once in a while, they do rise back up and you want to be there for that. But a Jet fan, the Irish in Staten Island, they've been sitting there waiting for 60 years now. And their little blips on the radar screen are close but no cigar. Oh, a handful of championship game appearances, but no Super Bowls, no legitimate championship runs. So It could be another 60 years for all they know. At least the Giant fan will go, I think at some point they'll get it right. So I'm going to hang around. I'll continue to give my money. I'll continue to go because maybe eventually they're going to get it right because they've gotten it right before. It might take a decade or two, but they'll get it right. But no evidence of that so far with the Jets. Let's go to Dove in Boston. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Dove.
Hey, gentlemen. Good to talk to you as always.
Oh, man. How you doing? Thanks a lot for calling.
Of course. You just make such a good point, and it's what I've been saying to some of my friends, is just that the shame of the New York Jets isn't that I hate them or that I'm angry or upset. It's that it's just made me kind of not care about football. Because, I don't want to be a fraud. I don't want to root for another team, and it would feel weird and icky to, root for another team, so I don't want to do that. But I'll be honest, I love football, but what they've been serving me for the last 15 years isn't real football. So, in the spirit of Fraud Friday, I come to you for help. What do I do? Because I do love the sport of football. I don't want to lose my passion for it. But, I also don't want to be a fraud. So, outside of them moving the team to London, I don't really have any hopes here in terms of, how I'm going to save my football life.
Listen, I'm an enabler, Dove, because I sit here and every Friday I talk about Fraud Alert Friday, and I call people that switch teams frauds. I've been doing it for years. Yeah. All right, and not just on the air. I've done it in real life.
Sure you have.
The friends and all that. But if I look myself in the mirror, aren't I enabling these people? They're looking for a way out, and I'm telling them they're a fraud if they do it. And now here I am going on the air being the ultimate fraud saying, you're addicted, walk away. But if they walk away, they're a fraud.
No, but you have changed on that. You have opened the door with these teams. Don't walk away to another team. Now, maybe that's almost too harsh, too. Maybe at a certain point you go, hey, walk away, do whatever you want.
Well,
but you just can't come back and celebrate when they win.
Right. But go ahead, Dove. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I'm in Boston, right? And I just moved here a month ago. It's my second time that I've lived in New England. First time was a dozen years ago, right? And I was wearing my Jets jersey to Patriots bars in the prime Tom Brady era, staring people down, even though I had no business, right?
Nope.
But I was. Now I'm back. I'm living in Boston a dozen years later. I didn't go out for the game. I didn't even think about going to the actual game itself in Foxborough. I have no desire to do that, and why would I? And guess what? I have tickets already to go see my Knicks at TD Center because they've given me a reason. They've given me a reason.
See, that's why, Dove, I brought it up, because with the whole feeling of emptiness, if I go and root for another team, how many people are just kind of out on football? And they're not all out, Peter, because they might still enjoy the games, but it's I used to go, but now I don't go. I used to make the sacrifice and stay up until midnight on Thursdays and Mondays and Sunday nights, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I used to go, I'm not going, or I used to buy the jerseys, I'm not buying the jerseys anymore. If it's a really nice day on a Sunday and I could do something with the family, I'm going to go do that. That's how it manifests itself, right? It's just what are you doing for me? Because I've made the sacrifices. I've sat there for 3-4 hours watching, consuming the pregame shows, reading every piece of information there was for what? Now, every team's going to have a bad run, but when you talk about it being this embarrassing for this long, especially with the Jets, listen, we're still going to do the fraud stuff because it's fun and all that.
But you are an enabler.
But when I was just thinking about when I sit there and I call somebody a fraud because they gave up on their team and decided to root for somebody else, I still think that's the wrong thing to do. But at the same time, why should you deprive yourself of, hey, I enjoy the sport, I want to root for somebody, I just can't root for this team anymore. Now, but you can't go back. That's the one thing we'll all agree on, right? Is you can't just all of a sudden, if the Jets all of a sudden make a run, you can't climb back aboard.
No, here's what you're allowed
to
do.
The ultimate fraud.
You're allowed to do this. If you leave and then they go all the way, you're allowed to have one solitary tear drop down your face and you go, I'm happy it was them. That's it.
Yeah, maybe.
But you're not allowed to wear the outfit and say I'm back. You might sit there and have a moment where a song, a soft, subtle piano-filled song hits your eardrums and the tear falls down your face. That's it.
You know, Peter, where I've softened, honestly, with the fraud stuff?
Well, at your age, a few spots. Go ahead.
No. That's still not an issue, thank God. Is that there was a time where fraud was pejorative and like you were like a bad guy. Like I can call you a fraud now, and I've done this. You've heard me say this, but it doesn't make you a bad guy. Like I get it. If you want to own the fraud, great, but I get it. Be a fraud, but you're still a fraud. But I can't look at it as devaluing you as a person.
Well, I get that.
Because there was a point where like I would call you a fraud and that you were a bad fan and you're not a good guy and it's a negative, like bad guy. No, I can't say that anymore. Listen, you're a bad guy if I'm not rooting for the Yankees anymore because they haven't won a World Series since 2009 and I'm sick of losing in the playoffs all that. Maybe you are a bad guy if you go jump to another ship, go become a Dodger fan. But if you're a Jet fan right now and say, you know what, I'm going to tap out. How can I get on you for that?
Who would you be? What kind of man would you be, Don, to hold people to a standard like that? I'll tell you what, though. And what I'm going to say here is very important, Don, so I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen closely.
I want everybody to listen to this.
Yeah, pay very, very close attention, guys, because it's FanDuel Friday. All right, you know FanDuel Friday. It's turning up with NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel's dropping limited-time specials to get you in the zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo. It's your weekly pregame, all right? NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter, by the way, to grab your reward before the clock expires. 21 and physically present, New York opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. And I realize when I say that every week, I don't ever get specific. If you have a gambling problem, what that means, Don, if you're saying you're gambling so much, I'm going to stop, and then you just keep gambling, that would be a problem.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're having fun, you're throwing out a few bucks here and there, make a few shekels, that's nice. When you're getting in trouble with your wife because you're spending your family's money, that's when you want to go ahead and make the phone call to 877-8-HOPE-NY.
Yeah, I listen, I don't want to make any kind of declarations here, but if I ask you, do you have a gambling problem? And you're like, I don't think so, you probably do. If you got to think about it, it's probably an issue.
Wait, if you say the word if you say I think, if you don't go, no. Well, let me tell you something. There are a lot of people who have problems, and if you ask them if they had a problem, they right away say no matter what. So it's really about going a little deeper. Now, Don, after we have the show today, I had cheap heat. I woke up at 5, was on a flight I boarded my flight at 6:30.
Right. That's early.
Now, yeah, it took off at 7:15. By the grace of God, Don, I fell asleep before we took off. And with the exception of like 2 wake-ups for 30 seconds, I slept all the way to Orlando until like 5 minutes before he landed.
That's a dream.
That's all you can hope for. That's the best.
Listen, Orlando's not that far. I mean, it would be a dream if you had flown to L.A. and that happened.
That's really the dream.
And listen, and if you flew to Perth that way, you passed away.
and by the way, and it's double sad because not only are you dead, but you missed out on the snacks, the free drinks.
Right, but if you sleep for 24 hours, there's an issue. Dozing, sleeping for 2 hours is one thing, but sleep for 5.5 out to L.A., that would be an absolute dream. But that's a nice flight.
So I did that. I got here at noon. I did my Cheap Heat Live on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. I did that from noon to 2 from the same place I'm in right now. Then I had a quick meeting. Then we're doing this program till 6:30.
Right.
And then I am calling 4 episodes of Evolve after this.
That's awesome.
It is, but I will tell you, do you ever have moments like when you were not feeling so good, and I feel pretty good right now, don't get me wrong, but when you were not feeling as good a couple weeks ago, did you ever have moments during any of the games where you think about, like, I have to pace myself here? Like, I know my voice isn't 100. How do I manage? Like, you had a game, Don. There were games you had like 12 goals to call.
No, you think about it, but then when you're doing it, you kind of get lost. It's between times where you're like, maybe I can't be sitting there on the phone for an hour. Now you got to dial it down, man. It's going to catch up to you.
When you thought it was a 3-person show, you say.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Why? You know what, Anthony? I got to tell you, he's a bad guy. Because I hadn't even thought. I had not even
I didn't
thought
think
about it
either.
But by the way, and Alan's just not a third person. We have a 3-person show. Alan's got to be close to 50% of the words. Got to be. I mean, put me at maybe 15% of the words. Okay, give Don 35 and Alan a clean 50. Think about how much more lifting I'm doing here,
it
Don.
affects Peter most of all when one of us.
There's
is
no
out.
question.
And when
Because even though Don can talk, he likes to have a back and forth. I can't just sit here silently. These things don't happen in a vacuum. Now, have we heard any update from Alan at the Best Buy in Albany?
I have a funny feeling we're just going to have Alan call in and do picks today. I don't think that this is. I think that ship has sailed.
I'm telling you, there's a very good chance that if you walked into the Best Buy in Albany and asked for a cradle point, they might have called the police.
I Joe judged it on third down and took a knee pretty early on this.
I got to give him credit. He saw that. He saw.
I saw the writing on the wall, and I said, I don't know if this is going to work.
I'm going to say something right now.
Yes,
and you can't.
I'm going to agree with you without even knowing what you're going to say.
You can't say these things in a vacuum, so Alan presumably will hear about it, and we'll have to talk about it.
On Tuesday?
I'll talk about it Tuesday, perhaps. And I haven't even brought this up to Anthony yet. And Anthony's the main person who has to deal with us. And I know that when it comes to dealing with, us being in different places in technology.
You suck, Busick.
It is the one category on the show where there's no questions asked. I know I am number one with a bullet, the A+ student of the group. No, there's no competition. I'm the guy. It's the only thing that I fully win on. Then it comes down to Don and Alan about who's in second place for technology savvy or lack thereof. Alan has damaged his reputation here irreparably for in 2025 thinking he was going to do a show by traveling somewhere with simply an Ethernet. He required an Ethernet wire at a hotel in 2025 where I asked, so what I do is I travel with like 3 layers of backups on this, right?
Right.
And then
I'm going to do a list of those, thank you.
I would always ask, I'm going to give it to you. Here you go. I have the Comrex with a wireless, like a stick that gives it internet from Verizon. I need a ding for each one. Then I often have the antenna, which I can connect to Wi-Fi, possibly, if it will allow me to do that. Then I have a microphone that plugs directly into my laptop that I know in a worst-case pinch, Anthony can find a way to get me on Zoom, and I could use that. And then my last scenario is you can ask the hotel, do you guys have Ethernet capability? Don, they have not said yes to me about Ethernet capability in 5 years. It's turned off. They killed the Ethernet in the hotels. It's dead. So I don't know what our guy was thinking today.
No, sorry, it was one of the greatest off assumptions in the history of assumptions.
Now, and actually, I think we're giving Alan a great deal of respect by saying it was a mistake, because if this had been the K-Show years, and I had somehow done what Alan did today, Michael would have spent the entire day suggesting it was a plan because I wanted a day off. Am I wrong, Don?
It was a work, yeah. You this all turned out the exact way you thought it was going to turn out.
Exactly.
Not having to do anything.
But because we respect Alan, unlike Michael did with me, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wanted to work. It was just a brain-dead choice because Ethernet in 2025, my God. I mean, you'll look at these hotels, Don, they'll have like an Ethernet jack like sitting in the desk, but you plug something into it. I mean, you might as well plug your electric toothbrush in. Nothing's happening.
Right, and listen, I don't want to speak ill of Albany, but when I was in Denver and I had a problem with the Ethernet cable, a technician came up and he was able to fix it.
For the record, that is shocking, though. They mostly cannot do anything.
Well, they did, and it was great because it was so much easier than using the cradle point. But the guy that showed up to Alan's door, had overalls and a toolbox. Like, this was not going to get fixed.
Toolbox secure.
They needed new drywall. I think he'd have a pretty decent. If the Ethernet, the drywall broke around the Ethernet cable, then he might have been able to fix it.
No, by the way, you know who showed up at his door? It was Schneider.
Yeah, Schneider with the cigarette pack rolled up in his undershirt.
Schneider showed up.
Yeah, Schneider showed up. And
what show is that again, Don Schneider?
One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time. Schneider from One Day at a Time showed up and said, "Can you fix the Ethernet for me?" He went, "What's Ethernet?"
Well, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to get back to your calls in a second. But coming up next, it's Fraud Alert Friday with a little bit of a twist. It's Don on Rosenberg till 6:30 on ESPN New York.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Just a bad ride over in Queens. Jackie Robinson westbound shut down. It's a big accident right after Metropolitan Avenue. Everybody being forced off onto Metropolitan. That is you crawling on the Grand Central eastbound and southbound Van Wyck. Not moving much heading into Kew Gardens from the LIE. All of your purchase, the outbound George or Pack. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. Cross Bronx westbound, slam from the Bruckner on through. Inbound George, it'll run you about 20 to 30 for the upper deck. Lower level, about a 15 to 20 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln, your best bet at 20 to 30. Outbound Holland, now close to an hour. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds, starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Dropped by Fields, and now it looks like New England has recovered.
I don't think they're giving themselves a legitimate chance to win football games with Justin Fields as their quarterback.
We're all accountable for that. Coaches, make sure we put our guys in the right position. Justin, make sure we get the ball to some other guys.
They're still an undisciplined team.
Details and discipline. That was a box that we didn't check.
A lot of miscommunication out there. Guys not on the same page.
I, as a fan now, think we should lose.
And I don't think that's wrong.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Why? How is this possible?
Ask Rich.
Ask Rich.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don McGregor.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Fraud Alert Friday.
Now, before
What
we
is
get
fraud?
now before we get started, you were asking, does Marco sound any different than when he originally said that? What was that? About a year ago, right?
Yeah, I
When he
think
said,
a
"What is
bit
fraud?"
more, but something
All
like
right.
that.
So Marco is here, fresh off his day at school.
Okay.
Marco, why don't you say hello to everybody? He doesn't have headsets, so I'm gonna have to translate. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hello.
All right.
Oh, please tell. Will you please tell Marco that Peter says hello?
Peter says hello. You a fan of Peter?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, thank
Now,
you.
Let's do it, and you guys are rolling back in the studio. This might
Of
be
course
the
they are.
new What is Fraud. Why don't you give us, Marco, a What is Fraud?
What is fraud?
What do you think?
It's the exact same.
What is fraud?
There's more bass in the voice.
Well, just say it out
One more
loud.
time.
Loud and proud.
What is fraud?
Yeah, I think
I love it.
Good job. Have you declared, and quickly, even though you're not 8 yet, you don't have to, have you declared your favorite hockey team?
Montreal Canadiens.
Interesting.
Oh,
your favorite baseball team?
New York Mets.
And your favorite football team?
New York Giants.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We got to work on the hockey, but the other
But
two, I
Don,
think,
no,
is fine.
Don.
It's Mom's
Don.
favorite team.
Yeah, you're doing good, man.
Yeah, no,
You
listen,
got
I
2
think
or
we're doing
3.
Marco,
Now, the
good.
hard one, of course, is that the other one is the team you're actually the voice
Right,
of.
I mean, we're just complimenting you that the Mets is good and the Giants good, but we would like to see maybe Devils, Marco, because Daddy works for the Devils. But that's all right. It's Mommy's favorite team, so.
But it's Mommy's favorite team,
give
and
her
he
some
loves
more.
Mom. And Don, let me ask you, what is father?
What is father is mother of Jace?
So the fact that you've got 2 out of 3,
Ain't
you should
bad.
be very proud of.
As Meatloaf just said the other day before he passed.
That's right. I want to hear the new first What is Fraud, because it was literally almost identical.
Yeah, it was.
to last year's
But
What is
I
Fraud.
think you stung him a little bit when he heard that it sounded the same, because I think he really was hoping it didn't. So I think the second time around is what he hopes will live in infamy.
All right. Let's dive in here for a little Fraud Alert Friday, shall we, friend?
Yes.
All right. So many people to get to, Don. Here we go. Good afternoon. I am a Rangers fan, and I watch or listen to every game. Over the past month, I found myself rooting for the Devils and watching almost every game. I definitely would consider myself a Devils fan, but I do enjoy when they win. My whole family, besides my dad, also a Rangers fan, are Devils fans. I started watching because of Don on the call and to be able to talk with my sister and uncles and cousins about the team. Am I a fraud for enjoying watching the Devils win and rooting for them? I would never root for them against the Rangers, and I watch the Rangers over the Devils when they play at the same time. Again, not a fan of the Devils, but do enjoy the way they play.
No, yeah, you're a fraud.
Fraud.
I don't know what else to say. You're a fraud, but I do appreciate the business, and thank you very much, and I hope I win you over. But if you're a Ranger fan enjoying Devils hockey, they're in the same division. They're battling for the same real estate. But I do enjoy it, and please continue. Because as we established in the previous segment, it doesn't make you a bad guy.
So you're not saying a fraud. Yeah, you're not saying you won't accept the fraud. You will gladly take the fraud.
I will take the fraud.
But you are, in
fact,
fact,
the gavel.
Fraud. Thank you.
Distracted by Marco. Yes. So
all right, and they're attempting to record again. So I'm gonna be quiet for a moment. Here we go. So it's ASMR Rosenberg. Here we go.
All right.
Hey, DHR, I'm bringing my father-in-law up to the stand. As a lifelong Mets fan, it was always his dream to have someone in his life who he could enjoy his Mets fandom with. He luckily had a son who he tried to push in that direction. But 36 years later, his son wants nothing to do with sports or the Mets. In comes my son. He's only 4, but ever since he was born, my father-in-law has brought him anything Mets-related to try to get him to be a Mets fan. I'm personally a Yankees fan, and one of the happiest moments as a dad so far was when I brought my son to his first Yankees game this season. It would be a dream to share that fandom with my son. So, is my father-in-law a fraud for failing as a father to get his own son to be a Mets fan and then trying to convert his grandson to be a Mets fan against my wishes? Thank you for the court's consideration. I'm going to sit back here and watch Don pontificate because this one is deep.
I don't think this is the right court.
Yeah, you need family court.
I think we need family court.
Your family court needs a DIFUS needs to be called in here to kind of work through this. I don't think it makes him a fraud. He's doing what he wants to do, and your child will have to eventually make the decision. So I don't really see any fraud here. Everybody's going to try to recruit and decide what they want to do with the kid. I'd rather let the kid make his own decisions, but you know what? If you're invested in there to try to win him over, then it's up to him ultimately. How old is the child again?
Did it say how old the child was? 4. He's 4 years old.
Oh, come on. Still 4 years away as far as I'm concerned to a decision. So there's no fraud here. It's all up for recruitment. It's my feeling that you should let the child decide for themselves, but hey, we live in a world where there's going to be influences all over. So he's still 4 years from making a decision. There's no fraud there.
Can I tell you though?
What's that?
Over my dead body, okay, is an in-law coming in to take away. Like if Natalie's parents had an idea of any sports teams and said you're not going to be a Commanders fan, you're going to be a Giants fan, we would have problems.
By the way, we have this at the station,
Go ahead, talk me through it.
On our morning show.
What?
Rick's father-in-law is a Lightning fan and knows that Rick's son likes Vasilevsky and is trying to get him to be a Lightning fan with Vasilevsky jerseys, and Rick's doing his best to put a stop to it.
Well, listen, as he should. I'd be sick. Now, me and Natalie had to have a fight, and it kind of relates to Fraud Alert because Natalie really resisted, at first, she tried to hang on to the Giants, and I'm like, you're not going to be a Giants fan in this house, Natalie. You don't care about them enough. She couldn't name a Giant after Eli Manning, okay?
Okay.
So we're not going to even have a conversation about the Giants. This is why I was willing to give her. I'm saying I might come aboard and I'm down to root for the Knicks with you, all right? I'm not from Boston. Yes, the Celtics are my team, but I live here. Maya can be a Knicks fan. I'm not going to push a team from a town I'm not from on my daughter. But the Commanders situation, as the true sports fan in the house, it was a non-negotiable for me. And I established it. I got it done.
But grandparents do have a say, right? You can't shut them out from trying to have some sort of an influence. They're part of the family. It's blood.
Well, listen,
you're not going to have some sort of a say when Maya has a son, say you're not going to maybe try to guide that son to The Commanders, or
Listen,
maybe to the Knicks if it turns out that Maya ends up becoming a Knick fan. You're going to have an influence. You're going to have a say.
There's a couple ways this happens. Number one, Maya gives birth at like 16, in which case after I stop beating her, just kidding, but you get the idea. Then we'll talk about it. Then the other version is, I'm talking to them from the beyond. Now, I suppose there's a middle ground, Don. Let's say Maya has kids at 25. Right. Which would put me at 70. Yeah, I'd still be at an age where I'm very actively a commie fan, God willing, and I'm sure I'd want to fight the fight. But I don't know. Let's move on to the next one.
Yes,
you're right. Grandparents should get some say.
They should have some say.
Listen, if my in-laws want Maya to root for Tel Aviv FC, I got no problem with that. All right, here we go. Andrew says, "What's up, fellas? My name's Andrew. I'm 24, and I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Growing up, I was a fan of baseball, basketball, and football, but never really got into hockey. After listening to the old program and this new one every single day of my life with my dad, Don's passion about the sport caused me to start following hockey. Man, we get that a lot, and that's really cool. It's really cool. The first Sabres game I ever attended was in 2023, and I maybe have gone to 5 in total since. If I was asked, I would say I was a Buffalo Sabres fan. I purchased the Gotham Sports app and have access to both the Devils and Sabres games. Would I be a fraud if I flipped over to the Devils now that Don has the TV gig and I get to watch one of my favorite sports personalities call the games? This has nothing to do with the Sabres being a clown show, which he put in in quotes because I think he means the drop. And I will gladly remain a fan of them if this is fraudulent. However, wondering, since I'm a relatively new fan, could this slide? Friday, November 28th, I will be attending the Sabres and Devils game. If possible, it will be an honor to get a picture with Don to show my dad. Hope this gets to you guys. Keep doing your thing."
Clown show! Clown show! Clown show!
Bribing the judge? Hello? What are we doing?
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
I
Pipe
cannot
down
be
over
bought.
there.
I cannot be
the
bought.
jurors can't talk.
Apparently the role of Alan is being played by Anthony today.
I did just do this last week. I'm very well trained in it.
I say no fraud. And here's why.
Anthony, you might be right.
He became a hockey fan because of me. And because he was in Buffalo, he started rooting for the Sabres.
Mm-hmm.
But he became a hockey fan because of me. Now, I start doing Devil games. If he became a fan because of me and my passion, wouldn't the logic be that he would then just start following the Devils? He doesn't have over passion for it like the other sports. He was not a hockey fan. He was a fan of other teams. He became a hockey fan because of me, and he followed the Sabres because that's where he was. But now we have the technology, so it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? If he had been a Sabres fan his entire life and then was just a fan of me and flipped, then that would be a fraud. But he became a fan because of me, guys. So isn't that the next logical step?
Anthony, do you disagree? I actually think Don's right. I know you were just being that guy, but in all seriousness, but Don is, but it makes sense. I mean, in a lot of, Don is Buffalo. Like, he's more important to the guy than Buffalo. Technically, he's Don's entire oracle, his entire foray into the sport.
I also just think that the love for the Sabres wasn't fully there yet.
And why would it be?
So, he said he went in 2023. I think that was the last time they won a game. So I think that makes sense.
I'm going to say no fraud. I've ruled. So you guys
That's
can
it.
debate amongst yourselves. He's already been freed.
But it's reindeer games because it's already been decided.
That'll
do it for Fraud Alert Friday. I love this segment.
All right, so let's all right. Do we have the two? Can we separate the two? All right, so I'll let Peter be the judge. Here is over a year ago Marco's "What is Fraud?"
What is fraud?
And here is Marco today.
What is fraud?
Okay, there's definitively a difference. There is definitively a difference. But I would say I still believe we should stick with the original "What is fraud?"
Sure.
What is fraud?
But let me hear the new one.
What is fraud?
No, I mean, listen, he sounds a year older. That he does.
I'm going to tell
you
you
know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm his dad, so I could say he sounds older, but the issue still exists.
What, you mean the fraud?
Yes.
Well, that
so
part,
we're going to work on that. But clearly, he's a year older.
Yeah, you can hear that his voice is deeper. He's just still saying Fuad.
He's just having an issue with his R's right now.
Many people have issues with their R's.
Yes. So that was good. That was fun.
And listen, if you have more throughout the day and you want to call us at 1-800-919-3776, happy to bring your fraudulence to the table the rest of the day.
I would enjoy that. So let's do it. 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 6:30. Then it's Knicks basketball on ESPN New York.
D'Agostino, law, bite back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Fight fans, it's time for UFC 322. The action starts Saturday at the Rutherford with Team ESPN and Bud Light. Whether you need a pregame spot or you're looking for the right bar to watch the fight, the Rutherford is your destination. The party kicks off at 6 p.m. and Team ESPN will be giving away plenty of ESPN and Bud Light prizes. Join fellow UFC fans Saturday at West 33rd Street. Cheer on your favorite fighters, enjoy Bud Light draft and bucket specials all night, and cool giveaways at the Rutherford.
At the 5-yard line, handoff, Breece Hall finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Harry Douglas here. Fellas, it's time to step up your grooming game. Manscaped just leveled up with the Lawnmower 5 and the Chairman Plus, two powerhouses built for unmatched precision, comfort, and control. Whether you're cleaning up before a night out, preparing for a big meeting, or getting ready for a game day, Manscaped has the tools to help you look and feel your absolute best. These aren't just old school clippers. They're engineered for modern men who take pride in their daily routine. So upgrade your grooming gear and experience the difference. And now you can find Manscaped products at your local Walmart.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Kind of a weird story, Peter, coming out of Chicago. I don't know if you saw this.
I saw it.
Elliot Friedman. It's an incredibly unfortunate story, but word came Friday that Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils suffered a hand injury while at a team dinner Thursday night. Exact details are unknown at the time, but it's believed he slipped and cut his hand in what multiple sources are calling a fluke accident. He is not expected to play Saturday against Washington, but the exact timeline is not yet known. Now, they played in Chicago on Wednesday. The game was on TNT. That's why I wasn't there. They had the day off in Chicago, practiced today in Chicago, and then flew to Washington for the game tomorrow. They had a dinner, and apparently he got hurt. And the interesting thing about the dinner is, at the dinner, celebrating his 50th birthday, was Frank the Tank, who was a Devil fan. I'm not.
I heard about this. Now, well, what if Frank the Tank's a mush?
Well, that I can't.
Evidence suggests. I mean, he comes
he's a
from being
Dolphin fan.
He's a Met fan.
He's a Met fan, and he's a Devil fan. And certainly of those three, the Devils probably have been the better team. Although not really. I mean, the Mets just almost went to the World Series 2 years ago. But that's so fluky that something like that happened. So you hope he's okay. Hopefully it's something superficial that'll keep him out Saturday, but not for a long period of time. But geez, he's only their best player, one of the best players in the league, and the Devils are in first place in the division, but they've had a ton of injuries. Dodonov hasn't played all year. Hamilton is out. Glass got hurt again in the game in Chicago after being out for a while. Like, they have had a ton of injuries to start the season, but none bigger than this. And the problem with Jack, a couple of years ago, was the most games he ever played was 78. His season was cut short last year because of a shoulder injury. There's no question that he's a great player, but injuries have been a bit of a problem. And now just kind of, according to Elliot Friedman, kind of a fluke thing. The Devils are saying it's a non-hockey hand injury, so that kind of jives with what Elliot's saying, but just hope he's okay.
Now, speaking of the Devils,
yes,
there's a lot of uproar in our YouTube chat. And if you're not watching us on YouTube right now, what are you doing? Don and I are two of the best-looking guys in the biz.
Oh, thank
ESPN New York on YouTube. Go subscribe, subscribe, and hang out in the chat with us. But a lot of people very unhappy with your ruling.
With what?
And shocked that I saw it the way I saw even. People just don't think that they think there's no way you could view that guy to not be a fraud.
Well, the Sabre fan / Devil fan?
Yeah, they're disgusted. Black Metronome is one of our most loyal listeners. This is a shameful ruling.
Listen, I'm sorry he feels that way, but I don't know how you can feel any other way. He was a fan of the other three sports his entire life. He decided to become a Sabre fan because that was the local team 2 years ago, because he was a big Don LaGreca fan, turned him on the hockey, and he figured, all right, the Sabres are here, I'll go root for him. Then the guy that turned him on the hockey gets the Devil gig on TV, and he says, you know what? I'm going to go root for the fact that he just became a fan this deep into his life tells you that it was up for grabs to begin with. Now, if he had been a Sabre fan his entire life and switched, of course. But he only became a fan because of me. It was only 2 years ago. How am I supposed to rule? I mean, I don't mean to go up and in on our diehard listeners, but really, is it that crazy a ruling? Anthony, you were more on the side of some of the listeners when you first heard it, but have I not won you over with my ruling or no?
I just don't want bribery in the courtroom.
No, well, but listen, there's that sense of impropriety. Believe me.
But
it had nothing to do with my ruling. I can't prove that.
I think Allen probably would have had a similar issue with it, but it's not as crazy as ones that we battled back and forth with for like 5-10 minutes, where we've questioned your ruling on fraudulence. But it's your court, so
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you are the arbiter of fraud. Don.
But did he not say that he had football, basketball, baseball? He had his teams his whole life. Did not follow the sport of hockey. Got into it only because of my passion for the sport on the air. And said, oh, maybe I'll give the Sabres a try. They're in my hometown. I'll go root for them. So obviously he couldn't have been that diehard of a fan if he just started rooting for him 2 years ago. Now, if you want to say there's a tinge of fraud because would he have done that if the Sabres were one of the best teams in the NHL? I don't know. But it seems like he's only in the hockey because of me, which I appreciate. So why wouldn't he switch allegiance since it was so fresh to begin with? Peter, I'm arguing with you. I got you. Call up 1-800-919-3776.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Debate about it.
I'm fine. I'm totally good with this. I'm more upset because I just saw a New Yorker article came out about the subject is adults are wrong about 6'7".
I thought there wasn't anything to be right or wrong about. I thought it was about nothing.
Well, that's the thing, but it's saying I think it's saying adults are wrong for thinking it's just nothing.
But that's all we're being told by the people that started it, that it's nothing. Now, if it's something, why is it? If they're not telling us the truth, then how is it on us?
Well, so it says because a lot of people just hate it, Don, like myself. Like they think it's like brain rot for kids who have just lost their mind. And it says, so is 6'7" a sign of the end of times? That's what it is, right? All our kids brain rotted forever to pay for our digital sins. It says, for sure, that was my first instinct. I felt like the internet had colonized my 7-year-old's brain. But then I realized that as a parent, I'm obsessed with the internet and its effect on kids, whereas he's enjoying how much 6'7" connects him with other people here in the physical world. It originated online, but the striking thing about 6'7" is how much it's an in-real-life phenomenon.
Yeah, but all right. Well, now you want to just break down all of society. Since when do older people get what the younger generation's doing?
Well, I think that's what would put you on the same side as what the author is suggesting, which is that for the parents who say this is the true end of society, this is so dumb, and I kind of lean that way. It means nothing. How could it be that dumb? The point of this story is kind of what you're saying. It's like, well, hey, you don't really get it, and since when are adults supposed to fully get the nuance of what kids think works?
Right. But I think where people thought it was the end of society, which is obviously an exaggeration, is that even the dumbest things that we did or, the generation after did had some sort of background, some sort of reason. It might have been stupid, but it might have come from somewhere, a movie
But 6'7" did. That's the thing. So 6'7" did come from something. It's just something that we would view as stupid. It came from a song that was just a popular viral rap song where the guy says 6'7" like that. That's it.
Well, see, then why don't they tell us that?
Well, because it's not. By the way, I doubt. Does Marco do it?
Yes.
He probably doesn't know that it's from that.
Probably doesn't. No.
Now it's made it too far where the people, they don't even know.
But then you could have said that, and maybe they wouldn't think it was that stupid. But I was literally told it doesn't mean anything, so it didn't come from anywhere. But now you're giving me a little substance, so whatever. It still could be brain rot. Everything can end up being true. 1-800-919-3776. We'll get into the MVP debate. It's been settled, but has it? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Jackie Robinson westbound back open in Queens. They cleaned up that crash right after Metropolitan Avenue. Damage is done. Grand Central eastbound, just crawling heading into Kew Gardens from Citi Field. Not much better on the southbound Van Wyck. Delays there are backing up onto the Whitestone Expressway. Just packed on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Backed up across the Verrazano onto the westbound belt in Brooklyn. Bumper to bumper from Flatbush Avenue. All of your purchase, the outbound George or Jam, no easy way there. Inbound George, about 20 to 30 for the upper deck. Lower level, about a 15 to 20 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln Orania, 20 to 30. Outbound Hahn, 45 plus. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time...
It's Tully time.
NBA Cup group play games tonight. The Knicks host the Heat, with coverage immediately following us right here on 880 at 6:30. The Nets visit the Magic at 7, and the Owls are in Utah facing the Mammoth at 9. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey. During today's action, glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. So last night after we got off the air, Aaron Judge wins the MVP, his third. So congratulations to him. And I know a lot of Yankee fans obviously very excited that Judge won the MVP over Cal Raleigh. And Raleigh, of course, had one of the greatest, if not the greatest season a catcher has ever had. And the reason it was debatable, Peter, is because the Yankees had to settle for the wild card, although it was in a tiebreaker with the Blue Jays, but
sure,
they did not win the division, where the Mariners surprised a lot of people by winning the division. And they became the first catcher ever to hit 60 home runs, that Raleigh would have gotten a chance to maybe win it. And it was close. It was 17 first-place votes to 13 first-place votes. So it was very, very close. And I said from the very beginning, I don't think you can get mad no matter who won it. Now, obviously, Yankee fans would have been very disappointed had he not won the MVP. But I don't think you can get that crazy about it either way. And nobody is going to look back at Judge's numbers, which were amazing again, and say that he didn't deserve the MVP. But I can understand people in Seattle going, really? No catcher has ever had a year like this. Nobody expected us to win the division. If we don't have Cal Raleigh, we probably finish under 500. If the Yankees didn't have Judge, maybe they still find a way to make the playoffs.
Maybe.
So it becomes the ultimate debate, Peter, as it always does, is it the best player or is it the most valuable player? Because there's no question that Judge is the better player. Even though Raleigh had more home runs and plays a tougher position at catcher, Judge is the better player. But should that always be enough to win the MVP? Because you can make the case, and then Judge will win it every year. Kind of way, it's in the NBA now, where it ends up being the same guy when it was LeBron every year, and now you could just give it to the best player. But should there be a best player, and should there be an MVP? And if there were two separate awards, 90% of the time, that's why they don't have two separate awards, it would always go to the same player. But
right.
If there were two separate awards in 2025, Peter, is it possible that Cal would have won it and they would have given the best player award to Judge?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard to imagine a world in which the Brewers were any semblance of what they were without Cal Raleigh. I'm sorry, Mariners. I said Brewers. It's hard. Whereas with Judge and the Yankees, while he has a huge impact on them, this is a team, Don, with many other notable players who have been good.
Right.
There is reason to think that they would still be the Yankees and would find a way to adapt without Judge. Now, but at the same time, Don, when you look back at the last several years, the Yankees without Judge, they really are not the same team.
Right.
Like we've seen it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter if Bellinger's playing well or Stanton's playing well.
Listen,
they're not the same team.
You can't take a player of that significance away from anybody and expect it to be the same team. It's just that could they have found a way? Remember when they pretty much didn't have Judge 2 years ago, they still finished above 500. It's a possibility, no Cal Raleigh, that Seattle's 10 games under 500 or something ridiculous like that. Now, it's obviously up for debate, and you can join the debate at 1-800-919-3776. The reason why, when you really look and dissect it, that it was a no-brainer is because they've kind of taken the fun out of the MVP because they really just look at who has the better WAR. So Judge, despite Raleigh's amazing year and the fact that he was a catcher, according to Baseball Reference, his WAR was 7.4. Judge's was 9.7. And in the history of this award, since WAR's become a thing over the last decade, when it's that significant, you're going to give it to the guy that's got the higher WAR. Now, it doesn't always go to the guy with the higher WAR, but it's usually very close, like by 0.2. Like if it's 7.4 to 7.2. I don't have it in front of me, Anthony, but just confirm for me that when Acuna won it, his WAR was like 0.2 less than Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Like, it was very close, so they gave it to Acuna Jr. All right, fine. But when it's that wide, it almost always goes to the guy with the higher WAR, except in 2012. In 2012 in the American League, Miguel Cabrera, who had a triple crown, which is almost never happens. I think it was the first time it had happened in the American League since '67 when Cabrera did it. He won the MVP over Mike Trout. Cabrera's WAR was 7.1. Trout's WAR was 10.5. Significantly higher. But the Detroit Tigers that year won the Central Division. The Angels finished above 500, but they finished third in the West and didn't make the playoffs. So that's the extenuating circumstance. Like, I'm not giving the MVP to Trout because they didn't make the playoffs. Cabrera did something nobody ever does, and that's hit it for a triple crown, and his team won the division. But in the case of Raleigh and Judge, there was the discrepancy, but one team was a wild card team, the other team won their division. So it really just does show you that we sit there and we debate and we argue. It really always ends up going to the guy. If you've got a significant WAR like that, now 60 home runs as a catcher, is that triple crown worthy? In some people's eyes, it might be, because that's never happened. There have been people that have hit for the triple crown, but no catcher has ever hit 60 home runs. But with the batting average being different, I just think, Peter, it just went to the fact that Judge had a significantly higher WAR than Cal did.
And you know what? It's not right. But in all kinds of things like this, there is a lifetime achievement part that factors in here. Meaning, if Cal Raleigh does this again, Don, and like we learn that this wasn't some sort of fluke, but this is the beginning of him just being here to stay, I wouldn't be surprised that if a similar thing happened, he wins it. But don't you think there's also, if you're baseball and you're a voter and you're someone who obviously, if you're a voter, you care deeply about the game. Right. Don't you think there could be part of you that thinks, I'd rather have for the legacy and for the continued building of Aaron Judge's brand, I'd rather have him get another one than this maybe just turns out to be one fluke one in the middle? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Like, Judge won 5, except in the middle, this guy on Seattle who completely fell off the map afterwards, he'd had that 1 year. If it's close enough, I can see why it's a little bit of a lifetime achievement with the guy. He's doing it consistently. I could see it, factoring it.
Well,
same with Ohtani.
Yeah, and Ohtani. Now, the other thing, too, is, when it just shows you it's really about the numbers, because Juan Soto finished 3rd. Are you kidding me? Like, if you really are going to look at the MVP, there's no way Soto should finish 3rd. I don't care what the numbers say, because every time he got hot, the Mets lost. When he was terrible, the Mets won. So what do numbers matter? If you paid attention, how could you even consider him for the MVP? Because it seemed like every time he played well, they struggled. And then when he was completely out of it, like the beginning of the year, they were the hottest team in baseball. That should rule you out right there. Mm. So I don't know what matters anymore. I guess I guess I do know. It's war. Now, I don't know what factors into war. I guess they'll tell me all the different stats and all that, but I just didn't think it was that outlandish. When you see a catcher do something that no catcher had ever done before, Carlton Fisk never done it, Johnny Bench never did it, Munson never did it, like Pudge never did it. Like, all the great catchers you can think of never came close to hitting 60 home runs. And Seattle parlayed that into a division title that nobody really saw coming. Maybe they thought that, hey, if things break right, Seattle might be a playoff team. But to win the American League West, I don't think was on anybody's bingo card. So if he had won it, I don't think it would have been that. It wouldn't have been criminal. But I can't say that Raleigh got robbed either. But it does kind of make you think that if you had 2 awards, how would it go? And how about Dan Patrick? Dan Patrick said if Raleigh was a Yankee and Judge was a Mariner, Raleigh would have won it.
Well,
now that kind of spits in the face to the whole East Coast bias, right? Well, they don't want to give it to a New York team, that they always kind of lean towards giving it to the other markets because New York always wins everything. That kind of spits in the face of that myth. I don't know if I buy that.
I do think there's more bias for the Yankees than against.
Ask Brock Ward.
The better the Yankees are, the better Aaron Judge is, the better it is for the sport.
True.
I mean, that's just a numbers game.
Yeah, but sometimes people think the evil empire, Yankees have everything, so they have the players.
But Don, that's
Let's give
fan
the
talk.
Mariners something.
Right, but that's how fans feel. That's not real.
The point is that Yankee fans will argue that it was a no-brainer. Well, to the voters, it wasn't, because it was still 17-13 first-place vote, so it was close. So even though the WAR was significantly better, and even though Judge had much better batting average, on base percentage, there was a lot of analytical things outside of batting average that factored into this. It was still close. So it wasn't like they completely ignored what Raleigh did. But it was interesting, and I don't think you could really complain either way. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Tom in Putnam. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Don. So, I mean, you basically just touched on everything I said. I mean, they say batting average isn't important anymore. Judge destroyed him. On base percentage, Judge destroyed him. Well, now it's all about WAR. Judge destroyed him. So, I mean, that's all. You guys already talked about that. I guess I want to just add one more thing. I mean, has the standard really fallen so? And Cal had a great season, but has the standard really fallen so much that we're going to consider giving MVP awards to sub-250 hitters? Because, like, if we are, pretty sure Adam Dunn would like to step in and have a conversation, because if it's just about the most home runs.
Right, but the only consideration, Tom, and maybe to you it doesn't matter, is to do this as a catcher, to me, is pretty special. We've been playing baseball for 150 years. Nobody has ever come close to doing this. Even in the steroid era, nobody ever did it to this level. And they did win the division.
And
So I think they got it right. But I do think him being a catcher does elevate
and a switch hitter.
And a switch hitter. Let's not forget that. He broke the record for home runs for a switch hitter, more than Mickey Mantle, more home runs as a catcher, more than any catcher. Those are pretty significant things.
I agree. I'm in my mid-30s. I consider myself old school. I just can't fathom. A sub 250 hitter winning an MVP when somebody else is hitting 330.
But to throw the analytic argument back, we've been told batting average doesn't matter. So if batting average doesn't matter, it should be taken out of the equation.
Like you said, the stuff that we have been told is important. Judge destroyed him in those too. So what's even the debate?
But that's what's so interesting, Tom. And thank you for the phone call. It lends to the debate of should there be two separate awards, because in no world is Cal Raleigh in the same stratosphere as Aaron Judge as a player. But should that be what the MVP is? Most valuable player, you can make the case that Cal was way more valuable to Seattle than Judge was to the Yankees. The Yankees had a disappointing regular season, right? They took a step back from last year. They didn't win the division. Now, that's semantics, too. They had the same amount of wins as the Toronto Blue Jays. And I believe, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, same amount of wins as the year before when they won the division. But they still were a wild card team, and Seattle won the division. So I think the argument is a better one, should there be two awards, more so than was Cal Raleigh robbed. I don't think he was robbed. But switch hitter, catcher, these things should be taken into consideration, at least to me. Phil in Brooklyn, you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, Don, I don't. They're looking at all these numbers. They're going to give it to the best player. To me, calling it the MVP is silly, because you're going to give it to the best player. So why is it called the most valuable player? It never made any sense to me.
Well, I think they do that because overwhelmingly, the majority of the time, it's going to go to the best player. It's going to be the same guy. It's not that often that the best player isn't the MVP. Right? There was one year, Peter, that Andre Dawson won the MVP. I think it was in '87, and the Cubs finished in last. And people were like, well, what does it matter? He was the best player, but they finished in last. They would have finished in last without him. How can you give him the MVP? So there is inconsistencies, but I believe the reason they don't do it, Peter, is because I would think 9 out of 10 times it would go to the same guy.
Well, that's and by the way, though, this is not simply this is not simply a baseball issue. We've had this conversation, Don, about MVPs in all sports many times. There are certain, if you make it solely on value to a team, there are certain players who could win every year simply on the team's existence, unless the team is the worst team in the league, right? You look at an Ovechkin in Washington, a Crosby in Pittsburgh, a LeBron in Cleveland. Every year, just give it to them. There's no one who can be much more valuable than
Jokic
certain
in Denver,
players.
He's the best player in the NBA right now.
Don, you know what?
Him every year.
By the way, you maybe just took the cake again. Exactly. Jokic in Denver may be the best example. I mean, they have some nice. They've always had some nice players around him. But you're telling me we're talking about them as a championship contender every year without Nikola Jokic? It's the whole thing.
Let's go to Andrew in Huntington. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, guys. Baseball Writers of America, they're saying, it was, 17-13 on votes. It shouldn't have even been close. Judge was far and away better. He won every category that he won by 100 points or more. He only lost home runs by 7 and RBIs by, I think, 11 or 12. I don't understand how it was even so close. He also won the batting title. First person to ever win a batting title with over, I think it was 50 home runs, I believe. I think it's actually an insult to Aaron Judge and how undervalued he is.
Well, but Andrew, honestly, the fact that he did it as a switch hitter and a catcher, there is some significance to that, right? Mickey Mantle didn't hit that many home runs as a switch hitter. No catcher ever had 60 home runs. So I don't disagree with you that Judge deserves it. But you don't see how people could have been swayed by the fact that Seattle won their division and that a catcher hit 60 home runs, that a switch hitter hit 60 home runs. You can't see why some people might be swayed by that?
I can see that, but the difference between each category, it's not as great when you look at Judge's numbers against
because Judge is a better player. Judge is the better player. But let me ask you this. If Judge put those same numbers together and the Yankees finished in last, would you still give him the award?
I think you would have to if he's the best player.
Well, see that, but there's our argument, Andrew, and thank you for the phone call. You think because he's the best player that he automatically has to get the award. But it's MVP, most valuable player. Now, maybe it's a semantics game. I don't know how the voters vote. Maybe they vote who the better player is. But Peter, if you're going by the definition of most valuable player, and a guy wins the division and does things that nobody's ever done before, if that caller is saying he would have given it to Judge even if they finished in last, then he is not looking at the definition of most valuable player. He's looking at best player. And if you're looking at best player, Peter, there is no argument. Aaron Judge is the best player, period. But that's not really what the award is it?
Well, and that conversation about best player, that makes and we can maybe get into this in a bit next, that's what makes the him versus Ohtani thing always so interesting. You know what I mean?
Now, the interesting thing, if the Dodgers were in the American League, let's say you swapped out the Angels and put the Dodgers there, and Ohtani had the exact same season, and the Dodgers had the exact same season in the American League that they had in the National League, who would have won the MVP? 1-800-919-3776, because that's more of an apples to apples, right? Because Ohtani won in the National League, and the Dodgers ended up being the better team. Now, they weren't the better team in the regular season because they didn't win as many games. I got to look and see who won more games. I don't remember, but the Dodgers certainly didn't have the regular season that people anticipated them to have. They had to play in the wild card round. They didn't have the bye. But all interesting, 1-800-919-3776 at 5:45. We've got our picks. At 6 o'clock, we got ENN. Don, Anna, Rosenberg till 6:30 here on ESPN New York.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. Fight fans, it's time for UFC 322. The action starts Saturday at the Rutherford with Team ESPN and Bud Light. Whether you need a pregame spot or you're looking for the right bar to watch the fight, the Rutherford is your destination. The party kicks off at 6 p.m. and Team ESPN will be giving away plenty of ESPN and Bud Light prizes. Join fellow UFC fans Saturday at West 33rd Street. Cheer on your favorite fighters, enjoy Bud Light draft and bucket specials all night, and cool giveaways at the Rutherford.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel this November, it's your chance to gobble up the green and feast on your share of $55,000 cash. Earn entries all month long and join us on Friday, November 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $10,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., 1 lucky winner will take home a grand prize of $20,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We're going to start off in Westchester County. It's a slow crawl on 287 westbound, approaching the Rockland-bound Tappan Zee Bridge. Still have some roadwork blocking 2 lanes over by the Thruway merge. Traffic is at a standstill there from before the Hutch. Best of it's the outbound George Henry Hudson, and that's a bit slow. Cross Bronx westbound, solid from the Bruckner through to underneath the apartments. Starting to move better at the inbound George, just about 10 to 15 for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 20 to 30. Outbound Hone, already close to an hour. Slow crawl on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Crash on the ramp to South Avenue. Delays go back across the Verrazano into Brooklyn. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-471-9773. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-471-9773. That's 800-471-9773.
So we were telling you about this weird injury for Jack Hughes. Apparently injured his hand during a team dinner in Chicago, and he's out at least for the game against Washington tomorrow. Devils also announced that Connor Brown, who the last I checked was 5 minutes away from coming back from injury, has been placed on IR. So, and when I was mentioning all the list of injuries for the Devils, I failed to mention Brett Pesce, who's probably one of the biggest ones. So no Pesce, no Hamilton, no Brown, no Hughes, no Glass, no Dodonov, who hasn't played a game so far this year. Yet they're still in first place. But, boy, they should have a seance at the Rock, Peter, with the injuries that this team has suffered. But I will say it's a long season. You'd rather be having these injuries in November than in April or May.
For sure.
So, hopefully
unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's no guarantee that just because you have them in November, you don't have them in April and May. But
no, especially at the rate that they're going here. But we're talking a little baseball. Having some fun. 1-800-919-3776. So people are very passionate about this. I remember, because I'm old enough to remember, when I believe Darryl Strawberry was robbed of an MVP in '88 when they gave it to Gibson. And that's when the whole New York bias started. And Strawberry's numbers were way better. But Gibson kind of surprised a lot of people coming over from Detroit, and the Dodgers won their division, and so did the Mets. And what happened in the postseason, the Dodgers won, but that shouldn't have mattered for the award. And there was a case where Jaromir Jagr, Anthony will tell you, should have won the Hart Trophy in 05-06, and they gave it to Jumbo Jim. Joe, excuse me?
Joe Thornton.
I couldn't get it out of my Joe
we
Thornton.
got there.
Jose. So there's always been that feeling that there is a New York bias. Like, New York gets all the good stuff, so this is where we're going to hand out the awards. Any Yankee fan will tell you, you can set fire to all the MVPs. Get yourself a ring. Get yourself a championship. But in real time, the MVP certainly matter, especially for a homegrown guy like Judge. So I would have gotten the frustration had he not won. But I do think people have to kind of understand how they might be a little upset in Seattle and why it was as close as it was. Jose's in the car. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Jose?
I just wanted to make the point that Cal Raleigh's calling the game with the pitcher, and he has more of an effect on the game than Aaron Judge does. And he's on his knees the whole game. He's crouching. Judge couldn't do that.
I appreciate that you appreciate the position. I kind of cringe, Peter, when I hear people say the position you play shouldn't matter. Damn right it matters. Catcher, man. You're at a big disadvantage, man. The wear and tear of being a catcher as opposed to standing out in the outfield for 9 innings. I'm not taking anything away from Judge. I think he's a tremendous defender. But to be in the crouch and play as many games as he played and calling a game and defending and all that, I mean, there's a lot to it. I think people need to appreciate that. This isn't the difference between a guy playing third base and a guy playing first base, or a guy playing first base and a guy playing right field. There's a catcher. So I have some respect for the position.
Well, but can I tell you what? And the position conversation is exactly why, it's hard to picture a world in which Shohei Ohtani is not MVP every year, because of the fact that he's playing such high-level ball at two positions.
And that was what I brought up. Like, if this, he did pitch this year, not a ton of innings, but think about if it's back in the old days. If the Dodgers were in the American League and it's Ohtani versus Judge, and Ohtani starts to pitch and continues to put up big-time numbers, even if they're not the numbers Judge puts up, he's pitching. And if he's pitching at a high level, they're going to give him the award every single time, Peter. They're not going to – the WAR won't – at that point, the WAR will matter if it's a large discrepancy, but a unicorn's going to win that award.
Now, Don, Peter and I had a spirited debate in the break about this.
Interesting.
You're damn right we did.
Why was I not included?
What is – I have
my headphones on and everything.
Pushing both buttons, very difficult. What level does Ohtani have to go down to at both for you to still say that he wins the MVP? 30 home runs a year with a sub-3 ERA as a starter with double-digit wins? Like, when does it get to be the point of he has to do one of them exceptionally while doing the other one pretty good?
Yeah, I still think one has to be exceptional, and then you can live with the other one being just very good. But if both are good, all right, he's a unicorn, but, it's still not at the level. And where are the Dodgers while this is happening?
See, I think he gets it. Even at that level, I think he gets it every time.
I think you're right if the Dodgers are winning 100 games and winning the division. Now, if the Dodgers miss the playoffs, I could see people going, well, he was good at both, but the Dodgers weren't very good. So I think he hurt him. The fact that he wasn't as good a pitcher and wasn't as good a hitter, and they finished with 85 wins and missed the playoffs, I don't think he gets the MVP. Unless it's like a weak year and there's nobody else having a great season. But if he's still hitting north of 30 home runs and batting over 280 and driving over 100 runs, and he's pitching to an under 3 earned run average, and the Dodgers are going to the playoffs, he's going to win this thing every year. But it's so unfair. Now, as much as Judge is doing things we've never seen a right-handed hitter do, to see a guy pitch and hit is just, you can't even wrap your mind around it. And you saw it in that Game 3 of the World Series. Like, nobody could do that. To pitch 6 innings, strike out 10, and hit 3 home runs, win a game, that doesn't happen.
No, it's wild. It's wild.
And then, you just can't do it. Like,
and we're talking about a guy who, Don, he's hitting close to 50 home runs and batting close to 260, then gets to the playoffs and wins games basically on his back completely. It's
right.
going to be very interesting to see how far this thing goes and how many there are for Shohei Ohtani.
That's the thing was that he had 3 home runs in Game 3. Yeah, and then his pitching the next day. Like, and I think I told the story on the air when I was like talking to Sheldon Keefe, the Devils head coach. We're talking sport. Like that would be like Jack Hughes in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final scoring a hat trick, and then he's the starting goaltender the next game. Like you can't even think about that. I don't even know if there's equivalent in basketball. I don't think there is one. It would I guess would be in football. You're the starting quarterback, and then you're playing corner at an elite level.
But again, there's no comp.
There's just no comp. It's that's the thing. It's a great point. There's no comp. There is no comp to what Ohtani's been doing, other than Babe Ruth, the Babe, 100 years ago. And you know what? They could have made it up. There's nobody to confirm or deny, which I've always joked about, right? Like we know he did both, but as far
we
as
were at war.
The level it was 100 years ago. It could have just been a big practical joke that just survived 100 years. There's no video footage. There's there's stories. Like that's the level that this is at. We know Ruth did what he did, but like there's nobody walking the earth that saw it. And now we're seeing it.
I know. And listen, I will say you cannot nitpick the World Series. All right? It's too good to nitpick. And Yamamoto winning 3 games was ridiculous. But Don, obviously the one thing that would have made it one notch sweeter would be that if Ohtani's Game 7 outing had been awesome.
Yeah. But
and it didn't require Yamamoto being awesome to win it. That would have been icing on the cake.
We never got into this, but because I was on the road when it was going on, so we were doing the shows, but we weren't together. The text thread of how, like describing Ohtani's performance in Game 7 as a dud. It's like, really, what do you expect? The guy's
well, no, it was for the record. You're talking about Alan Hahn.
Yeah,
Hahn called it a dud, and I was like, well, what? I think he gave up 3 runs in the end.
I think it was 4, but you're right. It wasn't a quality start because he gave up 4. I think over.
Was
6.
it 4 in the end? You sure?
I think it ended up being 4.
But like we acted like he came out and stunk up the joint in his second game in like 50 hours.
But I understand Yankee fans saying, "Hey, wait a minute. Look at what Judge is doing." There is a level of taking for granted what Judge is doing because we see it all the time, and quite frankly, Yankee fans, the fact that you don't appreciate it because you're waiting for the ring, right? So you ignored his 62 home runs because all you kept thinking, he better do it in the postseason. Nobody cares about the MVP. He get 1,000 home runs. What's he doing in the postseason? They're a little galvanized now because he was phenomenal in the postseason this year, and it wasn't his fault they didn't win. But, when you talk about Yankee fans being sensitive that not appreciating at some level the unicorn that Judge is, but I would fight back and say I think Yankee fans don't necessarily appreciate it because it hasn't resulted in a championship. But this is the greatest right-handed batter I've ever seen. And he might turn out to be, if not already, the greatest right-handed batter, period. It's not nothing. And when you start talking about the greatest hitters of all time, and you bring Barry Bonds, well, Barry, there's a conversation to be had there about other reasons. Some things that you may not care about, but there's still things.
But it's still part of the discussion.
It's still part of the discussion. You're right. So remember, we're having this discussion about how great Judge is. Yeah, 5 minutes ago, we're arguing with callers that they would still take Jeter. And that I had the audacity to say that Judge is a better player than Derek Jeter.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Derek Jeter was a winner. He's great.
That's Derek Jeter.
He's not Judge. Sorry. And you know who would be the first person in line to tell you that? Derek Jeter. Now,
but the thing is, people when they hear this, Don, it's happening right now. There's someone in their car right now cursing.
Oh, he's punching the dash.
He's punching air. He's punching the dash. He's biting down on he's breaking his cigar off in his mouth, okay? That's the kind of guy. The kind of guy we're talking about, he's on the West Side Highway smoking a cigar. Yeah. But you have to understand, Don's not saying he's greater than Derek Jeter. He's saying he's better than Derek Jeter. The greatness of Derek Jeter, we understand. It comes in the games played. It comes in the consistency. It comes in the playoffs. That's not a conversation. But when you look at just the level of ball player, the skill set, the talent, that's what Don's talking about. And and I'm telling you, I mean, there's a chance that when you look at skill set and talent, Don, Aaron Judge may already be sitting at table one all time.
I want to give Anthony credit because he just said in my ear, can you imagine a debate?
Whispered it in your ear.
No, he was pretty emphatic.
Okay.
Can you imagine a debate in Boston that David Ortiz is better than Ted Williams? Can you imagine having that conversation? Now,
I cannot.
Ortiz was a DH, so and Judge was a really good shortstop. But the point is, if you're just going to lay out rings, that's not fair. You want to say Jeter was the better winner? Yeah, no question. But the better ball player?
It's just hard for people to separate, and I get it. I get it.
If it's a popularity contest, Jeter wins going away. If it's who do I want in a big spot, yeah, you probably would take Jeter to get that base hit than Judge based on the history in the postseason. As good as Judge's postseason was this year, overall, Jeter was money. But, it's two separate conversations. 1-800-919-3776. We've got our picks coming up, and we've got ENN coming up at 6 o'clock as well. But he's been on hold for a while. I don't want to squeeze in Alex in Limbrook because he's been on hold for a bit. And we do have a second. So, Alex, what do you got, buddy?
Oh, hi. Just take a break from baseball for a minute. I think you're interested.
I think Peter's
Did you ever see the
excited.
movie Scarecrow with Al Pacino and Gene Hackman?
I've never seen it.
I have not seen it. No, it sounds
Okay,
like
no,
something I should have
because there's a
seen
scene.
with those actors, but I have not seen it.
There's a scene at the end that he has a dramatic phone call with this woman, and she turned out to be the head teller in Scarecrow. In Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay, that I did.
Before I give you a comment on you're calling the Devils games, do you want to know what happened to the third robber, Stevie, in real life?
What?
In real life, he never made it to the bank. He saw a cop car in the neighborhood, and he got scared and went home. But they still caught him. But the judge was lenient. He gave him 2 years in federal prison because he said, you didn't participate in the robbery and the kidnapping, but you conspired to do it. So he gave him 2 years. Now, I'm not a Devils fan, but I have been watching more Devils games, and this is a sincere compliment. You make the game more exciting and more passionate. I was watching the Devils were on TNT. Nothing against those announcers, but I didn't feel, they had passion or heart. There was one game, it was like a little less than 3 minutes you were calling, and the best way I can describe it, Donnie, was I felt like you were on the ice. That's how much you were, into calling the game. And you really make the game better to watch.
Well,
I know a lot of sports you don't.
That's Alex. That's very nice for you to say that.
Beautiful.
I love what I do, and that's what I think comes out on the ice.
How many games in are you right now, Don?
15.
And are you having as much fun as you thought you would?
Oh yeah, I'm having an absolute ball. Yeah, no, it's been
like you're
incredible.
stoked every night. You're loving it.
I'm very stoked, even though they're dropping like flies on me. I still no. This is great.
I think Don really hit his stride around Game 6, Game 7.
Why is that? Oh, who are you, Jonathan Wilma?
Oh, well, I'm proud I didn't get that right away, but I guess I'm an old man.
By the way, it's Jonathan Vilma, right?
I believe it's Wilma.
Vilma with a V.
I still don't understand why he did the 6-7 thing with Trump. I just that was so it's just so cringe. Any person 40 and up legitimately trying to do a 6-7. It's not good.
The only thing that I'm not saying that I would do it, and I'm not even saying it's acceptable, but did somebody dare him? Did somebody? I bet you wouldn't drop a 6-7 in front of the president. And he's like, all right.
By the way, you know what? I think you're right. It has to be, right?
Just knowing players the way I kind of know, I could see somebody saying, "Oh, you got to go talk to Trout. See if you can drop a 6-7 on."
Well, no, and maybe he's having a conversation. He's going, I don't know what to say to this guy. And they're like, well, all you can do is just keep it generic, and you're not going to have a serious interview. You're just going to let him say what he says. And he goes, well, how could I spice it up? What if you drop a 6-7 on him?
There you go.
That'll pop the kids.
And he's like, what's going to happen to me? I'm Jonathan Vilma. And in certain circles, that carries some weight. 1-800-919-3776. Our picks coming up next at ENN. What's the matter?
What the hell am I going to pick this week? No, what am I going to pick this week?
Oh, well, listen, that's on you. On ESPN New York.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
There are small risks in life, like giving a kid a football to play with in the house.
Whoa, watch out for the... Okay.
And then there are big gambles, like giving a kid a lottery ticket. Never gift a lottery ticket to a person under 18. Learn more about how to gift responsibly during the holidays at playresponsiblyny.com. Please gift responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
What's the game called?
Football. These are the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Pro Picks.
That's football!
It is time for our picks.
You don't know.
And I tell you, not good, Bob. Not good at all. But I'm creeping a little closer to 500. I did.
Well,
win my
you're
game
creeping
last
towards respectable is what you're doing.
I am. So with the victory that I had, I am now 15-16. And because it was my 3-point play, I've got 28 points. Now, that is good enough for first place. Alan Hahn went 0 for 3, so he's 11-19, 21 points. As Alan's
God, he's
joining
barely
us
ahead
via
of me.
phone.
What a loser.
Now, Peter had a good week. He went 2-1, but he lost his 2-point play. So he is 9-22 because of the loss last night.
Can you know,
he's got
honestly,
19 points.
Can someone pull up the stats when you get a moment? Someone. Of what my record was like the last few years. I just need to compare it.
Not this.
I'm lying. Thank you, Anthony. I want the hard numbers because this is insane.
Oh, you're the Braves. You're the Atlanta Braves this year, a perennial playoff team that all of a sudden just finished grossly under 500.
I mean, this is insane. What's happening? 9-22.
But Alan, thank you for joining us. I know it's been a tough day for you.
Well, thanks for having me, boys.
But
if by tough you mean sitting back, having a little Starbucks, maybe relaxing with the fam.
Listen, I know Alan, and he was expecting to work today, and the fact that he didn't work makes him sick. Am I
You
right?
think he was sick all day?
You have no idea how pissed off I am today.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Seriously, it's
Puking
because you
in
make
shoes.
all this trouble. You all this trouble that you put into bringing everything you need to set yourself up, and everything is set up perfectly, and nothing works. You know how I get. Ask Jake what I do when I set up somewhere and it's not working. The amount of cursing I do, screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
The poor guy that came to the door that was like, "I heard your TV doesn't work." I'm like, "Bud, it's not about the TV." I was like, "Get your ass in here. We got some work to do."
Right then, you knew that there was going to be
guy. And this poor man. By the time
Schneider.
he left, I swear he was reconsidering his choice of working at this hotel today.
You
really
yelled
felt
at
bad.
you yelled at poor Schneider.
I didn't yell per se. It was more of just a stern talking to.
Tell you what, can I say something? This is a beautiful phone line. We could have actually maybe had him on the show today.
We could have maybe covered. We might have been able to work with this.
We could have done it this. Are you serious? All this time you're going to tell me this now?
By
My
the way,
son has warm-ups in a half hour. His warm-ups begin at the arena.
But Don, am I
And
crazy?
now
Like,
you're
this
telling
is
me.
No,
Don,
it's a nice, but
doable phone line.
it would have been irritating after a while. But it is a nice. It is a nice phone. But so I'll go first because I'm in first place and I've got my 3-point play already in the books, as the Jets covered barely, but they did cover. And I thought Peter made a very good point that I had that all the way, even though it was only by a half point. Felt pretty good. And same logic why I'm going with Washington getting 2.5 in Madrid for their game, because it makes no sense that Washington should cover, but I'm going to go with the same logic. It worked for me with the Jets, so that's my 2-point play. So I've got the 1 play. I think the Bills are going to bounce back. You hate to think, and they shouldn't be in a situation that they're in, a perennial playoff team fancying themselves as a Super Bowl champion that should have got caught in a trap game in Miami last week. And I'm sure they're red hot. The second that game zeroed out, all they thought about was beating up on their next opponent. Now, next opponent's pretty good. Tampa Bay Bucks are not nothing. But you're coming home, feeling it after losing to Miami, kind of wasting the vibe of winning over Kansas City the last time you were home. It's only 5.5. I think the Bills bounce back, cover the 5.5 for my 1-point play. Alan Hahn, you are next.
Wow.
3-point play. Impressive logic going with a couple of the things that you decided to do there. I like all of it,
Okay.
Don. I like all of it. And last night was a good win for you, but not a quality watch for the rest of us.
Oh,
not
no.
even at the least.
No, that was a tough one.
Not a quality watch whatsoever. All right, my 1-point play. First of all, I have to have a redemption week, so I'm taking it out and I'm laying it on the table for all to see. I'm going all in. 1-point play. Chargers at Jacksonville. Chargers are rolling. 3 straight wins. Harbaugh, when he comes east, does he ever lose? Rarely. Jacksonville's coming off an embarrassing, just blew a 19-point lead to Davis Mills, which means that defense has some serious issues, don't they? So give me the Chargers. I'll lay the 2.5 for my 1-point play. 2-point play. I'm feeling L.A. I'm Hollywood this week. So I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to lay the 3.5 against Seattle. That's right, because Matthew Stafford's the true MVP candidate here. Sam Darnold still has to prove it. Two 7-2 teams. This is a very interesting game, a very fun watch. But I'm feeling Hollywood, so give me LA, give me the Rams, lay the 3.5. For my three. Three. This game's going to be a fun game. You got the Eagles, you got the Lions. The Eagles dominate at home. They've won 13 of the last 14. Dan Campbell's calling plays again. It worked pretty well against your commies, Peter. How will it do against Vic Fangio and them boys? I don't think it's going to go as well. Give me the Eagles. I'll lay the 2.5. That's right. I'm taking all the favorites, but that's the only way you can have a redemption week.
I like it. Play it safe, right? They're favorites for a reason.
And they're home. So give me the Chargers on the road for the 1. Give me the Rams at home for the 2. Give me the Eagles at home for the 3.
1, 2, 3-point play.
Peter?
All right, I'm all over the place mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm dealing with a lot here. There's just so much.
Ballard texted him, take the Packers.
Oh my God, would he ever? He makes me sick.
Ballard
He's texting me. He's texting me. He's texting me the whole game last night. They're good. Right. The second the Jets go up 7-0, I went, see, Ballard, this is why I was not feeling them. This was a weird game. He goes, oh, they're fine. The whole night, they're good. Get to the fourth quarter, I'm like, hey, Ballard. Mm-hmm. Once they settled for a field goal, you remember that drive? They had a chance to blow it open. They settled for a field goal. I went, it's not happening, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They don't care about you. They don't care about your damn parlay, Peter. They're taking the 3 points.
Well, Alan and I are in lockstep on the Chargers, and as Alan laid it out, I started thinking, oh, no, the Jaguars are in the same spot as the Commanders. Like, there's no reason they should win, and then they win outright. But I'm going to go with the logic here. The Chargers are figuring this thing out. The Jaguars seem to be going the wrong way. It's a short number. I'll take the Chargers given the 2.5. And then this will make it exciting. I'm going right up against Allen on the 3-point play. How about that?
Three. You didn't even go 2 yet?
No, two was last night's Patriots.
Oh, 2. Oh, that's right. 2 was last night. Oh, my bad. So
2 was thrown in the garbage. I'm taking Detroit. I admit it.
Come on, baby.
This is a heart pick. Don, you know I love rolling with the Lions. I just feel like – I know this is bad logic. The Eagles are just due at some point. That was an ugly game they escaped last week against the Packers. The Lions, to me, are finding it, and even though the Commanders like a junior varsity team at this point, they were damn impressive last week. They're putting it on people. Give me the Lions to get a big win. Now, they'll probably have to play this thing again, potentially in Philly again in January. I don't know if they'll get that one, but I think they're getting this one. Give me the Lions as my 3-point play.
All right.
Oh, head-to-head. Head-to-head, me and you.
It's moving day.
Well, you got to start doing something. It's week 11, and you've got to make up some ground for sure. So, Alan, we've missed you terribly today. So hopefully everything will be back to normal on Monday.
I am expecting that, yes. I'm hoping to have some fun tonight to see my boy play, so I appreciate you guys for giving me that opportunity.
All right, you got it, man. Be well, be safe, enjoy Albany, and hopefully your son has a great game. We've got a great ENN. It's coming up next right here on ESPN New York.
But before I get to ENN, Don, I want to talk to you about FanDuel. It's FanDuel Friday, for God's sake, all right? And FanDuel Friday is turning up with the NBA Happy Hour. Now, every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited-time specials to get you in the zone. You got boosts, you got bonuses, you got surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. Now, this isn't just another promo. It's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday, 6 to 7:30, only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to grab your reward before the clock expires. 21 and over, physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus offers and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-OPEN-WIRE. Text OPEN-WIRE at 467-369. We have ENN coming up next, which means it includes the NFL announcer lineup. Don and I are going to have a ball. It's all right here on ESPN New York.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night and an awesome weekend. We've got the Knicks home over at MSG. If you're going to drive into Midtown, stick with the west side over the east side of town. FDR just packed in both directions, heading over to the 59th Street Bridge. Disney on Ice again tonight at the UBS Arena. Solid slowdowns on the Cross Island southbound, heading over to Hempstead Turnpike from the Throgs Neck Bridge in Queens. All of your purchase, the outbound George, are awful aside from the Henry Hudson. Inbound George, stick with the lower deck. That'll run you about 15 to 20 minutes. Upper level, a 20 to 30 minute ride in building with a crash underneath the apartments. Outbound Lincoln will run you 20 to 30. Outbound Holland, a 45-minute ride. Over in Westchester County, no relief on 287 westbound. Still have this road work over by the Thruway merge. Traffic is crawling there from before the Hutch, should be picking up pretty soon. Then you're bumper to bumper at the Tappan Zee Bridge, moving on to the Rockland side. Crash out there mid-span. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parrisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parrisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is an ENN special report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports.
Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? Good. ENN tonight. Well, it's brought to you by UFC at the... Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry. Welcome to ENN.
You ever watch YouTube?
Ray-Ro.
ENN tonight is brought to you by our good friends at the Rutherford and us at ESPN, because we're going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, of course,
Fight
the
fans, get
weekend,
ready
dude.
for 322 tomorrow night. We're going to kick off the night with Team ESPN. I'm going to pop by as well. 6 to 7:30. I'll probably get there on the later side. But I'm going to pop through. I'm not sure exactly when. To say hi. It's right across from MSG, the Rutherford. Have a drink. Bud Light drafts, bucket specials all night. Giveaways, hang with the whole crew before the big fights. That's the Rutherford. Tomorrow night from 6 to 7:30, brought to you by Bud Light. Proud to be the official beer sponsor of UFC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy Bud Light responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. And with that, I'd like to bring in some help today because I do need to rest the voice a little bit before we head in to the big night. Anthony Pusick, everyone. Anthony Pusick.
Oh, hi, everybody. How we doing?
You know what drop to hit, Jacob?
You suck, Busick.
Accurate. Very, very, very accurate. And I'd like to say, to start off, good evening to Don.
Get to stepping.
Yeah.
Clean day.
Clean day. Good evening to Don.
Hey, LaGreca, open your mouth.
I just like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That one's good. Griffin from yesterday.
What, Peter?
And, of course, Marco.
What is fraud?
Much better.
Oh, my guy.
And
great.
Speaking of the open your mouth comment, so the put a pitchfork in this one.
Yeah.
The T-shirt.
Yeah, we know.
Some things are starting to stir that technically it's a trident and not a pitchfork.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of that.
I'm good.
You're not gonna do it anymore?
No, I'm not gonna make it a trident.
No. Because what happens when you play the Kraken?
No, I think pitchfork's fine, but people want to be technical.
Well, guys, you mentioned this about 2 weeks ago, and this is as good a time as any to do it. I have a Drop Madness update.
Oh, nice.
So we decided that we wanted to bring it back, and we're doing it ourselves.
Yes.
We're using the old categories from the K Show, not Michael, Don, Peter, and Nether Region. We're going to do flubs, troubling, funny, and Nether Region.
I love this.
We went back from the beginning of this iteration of the show.
Yeah.
And according to you guys now, any drops that we use that are funny from before that, there aren't many.
Okay.
And me and Jacob have caught up to today.
Okay.
And we have now gotten it down. And this is through, I want to say, December of 23 to now. 20 drops in the flub region. 24 drops in the funny region. 16 drops in the troubling region.
So you're done.
So not done. Somebody's got to knock somebody off.
Right.
And 37 drops in the nether region. And I do warn you, there's a lot of Richard and a lot of Griffin.
The nether region is expansive.
It's an expansive region.
Yes.
Well, it always is, isn't it?
So everybody keep in mind, I know Alan's going to be doing the work to try and force some drops, that we have a full list. Now we are down to parsing it down and making it better.
Take it off. Take it all.
That is one of the ones that is in the final.
I'm excited about bringing this back.
What kind of seed is that? Take it off, take it off.
Well, that's the problem. Because we haven't gotten it down to even a solid 16 in that region yet, we haven't even gotten to ranking.
But what would you think?
We're looking at the Ken Palm standings, doing all the work.
But just tell me, it's just your hunch. When you hear it, take it off, take it. Play it one more time, man.
Take it off. Take it all off.
Knowing what's already there, that's probably a 6.
And I know Zach Zarba. He was the crew chief. He's a
That's
Brooklyn
also
guy.
there.
He used to call games at the Jewish Center on Eastern Parkway.
Now that's got to be higher just because it's had more relevance to the show.
It definitely is.
But the aggressiveness of take it off, take it all off.
Listen,
that's special.
it just shows you how that region is probably the favorite.
Damn right.
But I'm excited.
Believe
about
that's
this
a final.
because the last I've checked, it's November 14th.
Yeah.
The college basketball season has just started, and most of Anthony's work is already done. And
No.
This thing is not going to air until March.
Griffin is 100% right about no. When I took it over in K, I saw how Andrew did it and how those 2 weeks leading up to it were just a bear for him. And I said, we can't do this. We can't do
You
this.
got to be
this
on
way.
top of this thing.
So
Now-
every week I look back at some of the top drops. I see what category they'd be in. I'd see if they knock off anything that's already there. So there's a lot of chance to change, just like in the college basketball season.
Now, there's
Everybody
gotta
thinks
be
that
there's gotta be
Alabama's
a drop
great.
dead date, right? There's got to be a date where you say, okay, no more.
We cut it off before Selection Sunday that week, because we have to get to before the round of 68 starts, and eventually with the NCAA, the round of 152.
So that's deep in March. So
we got time.
A lot of time. Yeah.
Mid-March, there's plenty of time for this all to change. So everybody keep an eye out. There's a drop that you love. Put it in the chat. Tweet at us, DHRESPN. Let us know what me and Jacob might be missing, because that's a committee of two now. Oh, that's a flub region.
What was that one again?
It's Yatittle.
Here's the problem with that one. And there's a debate.
No problem with that one.
Not in terms of where it lands.
Oh, no, it's funny.
Because Peter did that on purpose. That's not a flub. That's just funny.
Right.
I think I put that in the funny region.
But, that's fine. I was going to say that he didn't.
No, not that it doesn't. No.
Drop.
Me and Jacob, the best part about doing this is going back, and Jacob and I during lunch were laughing for 15 uninterrupted minutes.
Yeah,
that is a nice. You deserve that, because most of the day you're miserable, stomping around, screaming. It's a lot.
And then 3 o'clock hit, and then we were right back there again.
And you're right back there again.
Here comes the
By the way, I love. You can feel Anthony biting his tongue as Alan's telling us. I did everything I had to do. I showed up with all the equipment I needed. I was completely prepared.
I had the Comrex. What more do you want?
Yeah, by the way, all the stuff means he brought the Comrex and a microphone.
That's it.
Oh, no, headphones. He had headphones.
Yes, and he had the headphones.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to come up with a comp of what he did that the people that aren't in radio could understand.
Oh, that's a good one.
He showed up to the NFL playoff game without a ticket. But I got my parka. I got my gloves. I'm all set for the weather. I got my seat cushion.
How about this?
I paid for parking.
I got it.
The ticket's on my phone. The phone is dead, and I don't have a charger.
How about this? Let's go old school. The tickets are at will call, and he didn't bring an ID, and it's the one thing you need to get the tickets.
That's a good one, Peter.
That's it.
That's very good.
Look, everybody has been talking about who the next Giants head coach will be. So why don't we ask Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, who was on with Rich Eisen? He's got thoughts, too.
This week, they play the Packers.
Yes,
Jeff Hafley, who is from New Jersey. This would be his dream job, a team he grew up rooting for. He's got one of the best defenses in the NFL, and he's got head coaching experience at Boston College. I would think a guy like that would be in the mix. I would think that Steve Spagnuolo, even Antonio Pierce, who have histories with the Giants, would potentially be under consideration. And then you've got this broad swath of all these young coaches around the league. I should mention Matt Nagy in the experienced bucket as well. But there's not a Mike Vrabel, all right? There's not a slam dunk. This guy's definitely getting a job this year, nor is there a Ben Johnson.
Come on.
I'm telling you right now, I'm good on Matt Nagy.
You're all
good on
set.
every name he mentioned.
I love
good on
Spags.
every single name he
Well,
mentioned.
I'll tell you what, Don. You're going to roll your eyes, because the Jeff Hafley press conference this week, talking about how he's got like 50 people in the stands, and it's his dream, and he's really looking forward to coaching in MetLife for the first time. Everybody loves Jeff Hafley right now. That is a guy that is rising the ranks.
Because it's got like the Parcells feel to it, although he doesn't have a connection to the Giants coaching-wise. But, grew up in New Jersey, grew up a Giant fan. But his only head coaching experience is 4 years at Boston College, where he was collectively 22 and 26.
By the way, pretty impressive for Boston College.
But his best seasons were his first season in 2020, where they went 6-5, and his last year at Boston College, he went 7-6. Okay, I'm sorry, being a head coach in college is not necessarily being a head coach in the NFL. Now, there are connections galore, right? That maybe John Mara sinks his teeth into. Grew up in Montvale.
Yep.
Grew up a Giants fan. Was a head coach at Boston College. Who else was a head coach at Boston College, Anthony? Tom Coughlin. So there are like some connections, but dude, this job is just so Herculean. You got to give me with somebody with more experience. You got to. I thought he was going to go LaFleur when he was talking about playing the Packers, not their defensive coordinator.
That would have meant something. That would have made some sense.
That would have been different.
There's also some belief that I've seen that maybe if they do move on, if the Packers are so impressed with Hafley as the rest of the league is, because he's going to be one of these guys on the short list, that if they move on from LaFleur, he'd be the guy that the Packers just say, how about you just become why don't you just be the head coach? So we'll see what happens there.
I just, listen, he might be the next Bill Parcells.
He might.
Right? Any of these young coaches can be the next guy. And when he's young, he's 46, so he's not that young. But the point is that I just would feel better with somebody with a little bit more experience. You can't afford to get this wrong. But it's not my decision.
Now, Peter, we're about 10 and a half minutes away.
You don't know that.
From Knicks coverage, Knicks Heat, bottom of the hour here on 880 ESPN New York.
Bing bong.
I think now is as good a time as any to toss it to you to give you the announcer lineup.
Oh boy! Now listen, I'm going to do.
Was he ready?
I'm going to do. I'm prepared. I'm going to do a lower key one today, though. You know, because I have four shows in a row.
Because they're filming another promo outside.
No, they're done. The promos are finally done outside. But not only do I have to do 4 shows tonight, but guys, I found out on next week I'm calling a couple matches on NXT.
Yeah, you got to be careful, buddy.
So I got to be mindful now.
And
There's
that
a big,
time of year
big,
too. You don't want to mess around.
No, I can't. And then you got Survivor Series coming up. Before you know it, it's Rumble season. So let's be mindful. And I know a really, really low-key way to start. It is with a game that shouldn't be held. It's disrespectful to have this game on a Sunday morning at 9:30. It belongs in the very rare Monday lunch slot.
Spain should attack us over this.
This, screw a tariff. This is reason for war, okay? The first game ever in Spain, 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, the Washington Commanders versus the Miami Dolphins. All right? And when you think of Spain, you're picturing some delicious paella.
Yeah, I love paella.
Some sexy dancing, some red wine, a good old time out in the street. There's only one guy you picture doing all that.
Only one.
Kenny Albert.
Short man with a long stick. Yeah. We've talked about that stick in the past. We have.
Oh, Anthony, let's do something special. Let's go back and forth on this.
Okay.
So I'll finish this one.
Game to game?
And then we'll go game for game. I appreciate your help here.
That's a good
Let's do it.
That's a teammate right there. Now, helping out Kenny Albert is the man who's coming off his Frost Nixon performance, Mr. 6'7", Jonathan. And, of course, on the sideline, hopefully enjoying the weather in Spain, the great Jamie Erdahl.
Jamie Erdahl!
There you go.
I love that one. Well, listen, if you were looking for a COVID Wednesday, if you were looking for, why wasn't this game on Thursday Night Football? You've come to the right place because the Carolina Panthers will take on the Atlanta Falcons 1 p.m. on Fox, and for a game of that magnitude, you got to go with Jason Benetti. And Brady Quinn.
Straw?
Yeah, that's
I had a hunch BQ was catching the straw.
But don't worry, we have our good friend of the show, friend of the program, Sarah Kustok.
Well, that's basketball, John.
We love Kustok. We love SK.
Is this because what happened with Mark Sanchez? I never heard Brady Quinn.
I believe Drew Brees got that job.
Yeah, no, because that was
But I mean, all these dominoes falling because they lost an analyst.
That's an interesting question. It's a good point. All right, we move on.
Yes, we have to.
This is at least a Sunday 1 o'clock game. This is appropriate. Maybe even a 4 o'clock game, frankly. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks at the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a fun one on CBS at 1 o'clock with Ian Eagle on the call.
It's gotten ugly.
He'll be joined by James Jonathan Joseph Watt III. And on the sidelines, Don's favorite, every morning.
The lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
Never change that drop.
No, that's the one that always lives.
Yeah.
There are a couple of locks. That's one of them.
Go ahead.
Well, in 2006, this would probably be the ESPN Monday night playoff game. It's the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans because it involves the AFC South. It's another game on. It's another game that is on Fox. I missed it, didn't I? I skipped one.
Oh no.
No.
I did it right.
Well.
I did it right. You know what? I apologize.
Fine, pal.
I was very excited because it's one of our favorite announcers, Chris Myers, on the call.
Hi, I'm Chris Myers.
He'll be joined by Mark Schlereth.
I always pee on the floor.
That's good, Mark. And Jen Hale.
A down-to-the-wire thriller.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
It might be. Nobody will watch it.
We go to
This back and forth needs some work.
Yeah, we got to move quicker, huh? Let's try, Anthony. Starting now, when I finish the last word, let's just jump on right in. Jump right in, okay?
That sounds good to me. I like it.
All right, we go to Minnesota. This is a great NFC North clash, and I thought about taking the Bears in this one. They've been heating up the Bears at 6-3. Guys, you know how to win late. 1 o'clock, Fox, Kevin Burkhardt on the call.
Keith, these are definitely not pumpkins.
Which means good old Tom Brady's taking the trip to Minnesota.
If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
The legend Aaron Andrews.
Who was talking about you?
And the stately Tom Rinaldi.
How spectacular and great is this?
Well, you could feel that way, Tom, but on Fox at 1 o'clock, Mike Kafka, Jameis Winston, what more do you want, really? It's great. Adam Amin's going to be on the call for Giants-Packers.
Now stands erect.
This is who took Mark Sanchez's place, the great Drew Brees.
I can't stand to watch that offense.
Yeah, I can't either, Drew. And Christina Pink.
Oh, yeah, the swagger is back.
Which, by the way, come on. Is the swagger back? We don't know. We stay at 1 o'clock. We move to CBS, and we go to Pittsburgh. A bunch of divisional rivalry games this week, including the Bengals and the Steelers. Can Joey Flacco make it happen against Aaron Rodgers, who's having some problems recently, guys, starting to slip back to Jets Rodgers. Kevin Harlan will be on the call.
Oh, calamity!
He'll be joined by Trentavious Green.
Holy smokes.
And Melanie Griffith Collins.
This rivalry never disappoints. When you Derek, take me through that run.
Let's stick with CBS at 1 o'clock, shall we? A game that's interesting to two of the hosts on this show, the Chargers and the Jaguars. Fordham's own Spiro Didi's on the call.
My heart is always at the Jersey Shore.
He'll be joined by
Adam Golden Archuleta
and Aditi Kinkwabala.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is shining. It's not raining.
And I guarantee you the sun will be shining in Los Angeles because it never rains in Southern California. Another divisional clash. This one, the Seahawks of Seattle at the Los Angeles Rams. 4:05, which means get your nap time ready. You know how they feel. It's Fox. It's Joe Davis.
Oh, so many bodies. He ripped it away.
He would do an LA game.
Of course he would. He'll be joined by the, in my opinion, greatly overrated Greg Oley.
I'm aggressive by nature.
Pam Oliver will be on
I'm
the
not
side.
dead yet.
Yeah, we're
I'm just not an Olsen guy. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Interesting.
Well, we're going to stay out west on Fox 4:05. It's the Niners and the Cardinals. Kevin Kugler on the call.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown.
His partner, Darryl Johnston, and yeah, I know. Get ready. We got the straw. Allison Williams.
I feel like I got invited to sit at the big kids table. This is awesome, so thank you.
Oh, how do you like that? Shout out to a listener who called in with that one, helping out me and Jacob.
Found the clip for you?
They found the clip for us.
Oh, you got
Allison Williams getting the respect she deserves. Let's go to Cleveland Town. Coming down to Cleveland Town, everyone. The Ravines rolling. Don said it. They're going to find their way back. Well, they got to beat the Browns in Cleveland. 4:25 on CBS. Andrew Catalan on the call.
Going up high and bringing it down for 6.
He'll be joined by CD Charles Davis.
Joey Porter's getting away with being a little bit handsy early in this game.
Jason McCourty.
It's okay, Rondé.
And A.J. Ross.
Texans running back Joe Mixon dapping it up.
Well, with a card this good, how could you not give the A-team on CBS Kansas City versus Denver, 4:25 CBS. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Jim Nantz on the call with our good friend Tony Romo. Okay, and Tracy Wolfson.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's what he said.
So we move on to Sunday Night Football. This is a gem. Just a, you know what it smells?
Smells like moving day.
And it does, because it's my three-pointer, it's Allen's three-pointer. We're right up against each other, chest to chest, nose to nose, belly to belly. The Eagles and the Lions in Philly, NBC 820, which means Don's best friend Mike Tirico's on the call.
They still seem to resonate.
There are 3 teams.
Also never changing.
He'll be joined by Chris Collinsworth.
Amongst huge people, he was huger.
And Melissa Stark on the sideline.
Bro, you guys suck.
That's not very nice.
No,
the last
but
game of the day. Of the week, I should say. Monday Night Football. It is the last game on Monday. It's the only game.
And by the way, the Detroit-Philly game back in the day, Don, would have been Monday night And
Yes.
the game Anthony's about to do would be Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
But everything's topsy-turvy now. Sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
Everything's upside down, but you know where it is. ABC, ESPN, 8:15, Cowboys, Raiders. Joe Buck on the call.
See ya.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, feed him.
Lisa Salters.
Welcome to the playoffs.
And Laura Rutledge.
Enjoy that flight.
All right.
It's my favorite. I've grown to really love that. That's your NFL announcer lineup for like week 40 or whatever week it is.
Week 11. My clock is frozen. We've got 30 seconds, so
Wow,
I want to
week
thank
11?
Anthony. I want to thank Jacob for doing a tremendous job today under adverse conditions.
That's right.
We had the ghost whisperer in the first segment of the show, and then we had no host, Alan.
We
who was
lost
abducted in
Alan. He's
Albany.
no longer with us.
But we still fought through it. Great job, Peter. Enjoy your weekend in Orlando.
That'll do it for ENN, by the way.
Do it.
Just wanted to close that out.
All right.
Don, have
I
a
will
great
be in
weekend.
DC. We'll reconvene on Monday at 3 o'clock on ESPN New York. Enjoy the
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made